Hello, hello, people of the internet. It is I, Soulrack Dragon here, back with more Fate Stay Night Remaster, where today we're approaching the end of the Unlimited Blade Works route. We are on day 15 of 16, as I've found out from actually counting, and yeah, that's kind of all there really is to say about it here. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube, please, for me, be sure to like this video to show some support, subscribe to my channel so you can catch when everything gets published, follow me on Twitch so you can see when I go live on there, and, yeah, comment on the video if you have anything to say. That's kind of it, I think. Yeah, something like that. So, we can begin. Hey, Infinity Lord, welcome to the stream. Howdy things. But we're gonna load from the start of day 15, which is another interlude. Yay. Day 15 of Unlimited Blade Works After Image. Why it's called After Image, I don't know. I'd say not yet, Infinity Lord, just because I've not made it that far. I'm still pretty early on in the summer event, I'd say. I'm still on section 4. So, yeah, I'm still fairly far behind, but I think I'll start catching up. I've got a lot of resources. It is daybreak. The knight in red is leaning against the pillar and staring at his own arm. He puts strength into his fingertips and clenches his fist. Only about half of his sensations are left. Even though he's a heroic spirit, he cannot maintain his existence without a master that helps him stay in this world. Archer is existing because of a special ability that his class holds, but that is nearing its limit. The knight in red's remaining strength is less than a tenth of his original powers. His fists lack strength, and he should start slowly fading if he lets his guard down. But there's no problem. Even if he only has a tenth of his powers remaining, it's enough to finish Shiro Emiya off. Considering the difference in their abilities, this is not even a handicap. Therefore, it will end once they fight. His one and only objective will be accomplished here. Right, Emiya. Right. That's right. He's been waiting for this moment. He's endured the endless repetition, hoping for this chance. He could only wait for a miracle that would not usually be able to occur with a possibility close to zero. Yeah, I did see your thing in the Discord. You're getting there, man. You're getting there. It sounds like you're making slow and steady progress, making it further consistently. And his wish is granted. No, it's about to be granted. He doesn't care about what awaits him afterwards. He'll kill his own self with his own hands. That wish, which doesn't have enough of a future to be hope, is what kept him going after he wore out. Was it long, or was it an instant? He's an existence that disappears after each summoning to start with. His memory doesn't remain intact, whether he repeats that cycle 100 times or 1,000. It only stays in his body as knowledge. Heroic spirits know about other heroic spirits because they've accumulated knowledge, and because they hang out on the throne of heroes. It's just like a book. Every time they're summoned, the book with its history is sent to its home. They remain in the house and read the books that are sent. What is troubling is that the one at the house doesn't know when those books are sent. Past or future doesn't matter. All the books are already in his room. His only way of measuring time is to read the records of his cleaning that he will carry out. It makes no difference whether it's an eternity or an instant. An eternity is an instant, and an instant is an eternity. Fairly deep philosophically, but that is true statements. Need to complete the last 11, you're worried about the last, specifically 93 to 96 that you've not gotten consistent at. Well, you're 8,000 tries in, so I think the phrase practice makes perfect really sounds about right. Therefore, he does not know how rare this miracle is. He doesn't know whether it was the first or 1,000th time he was summoned since he gained this hope. All he has is this unordered knowledge. The future, past, and present are all things that heroic spirits don't have. Visitor, huh? I chose this place since I was told there would be no interruptions here. The knight in red suddenly gets up. Did his ears hear an intruder? Footsteps echo through the castle that should be silent. I'm surprised, Tosaka. I was skeptical, but you're actually here. The voice echoes. The boy who entered rudely is Shinji. Hey now, no funny business, Archer. I have no business with you. You don't have any business with Tosaka either, right? Then isn't it meaningless for us to fight here? Shinji Mato walks over with light steps. He's looking at Rin Tosaka, who's tied to a chair. The girl doesn't say anything and stares at the intruder while being tied up. Man, how many times can we say Rin is tied up without saying Rin is tied up? That must make him pleased. Shinji licks his lips in satisfaction and walks to the girl. Right. Shinji a creep. Can never forget, guys. Shinji be a creep. What? Shinji glances in annoyance at the knight who's staring him down in silence. What? You want to fight? Are you serious? You'd be no match for me. Shinji smiles and returns to the entrance. Why do we need to keep saying his last name? We know who this is. There stands the golden-haired boy, the 8th servant, Gilgamesh. He himself is a disaster. The golden servant looks at the knight with cool eyes, but within them, the red eyes, distorted from his smile, only have the intention to murder the enemy in front of him. The knight in red is still silent. It makes no difference whether Shinji appears or the strongest servant in front of him is ready to attack him. The knight calmly stares at the uninvited enemies. You're scared, right, Archer? It's fine, nothing to be ashamed of. He's the servant who killed the Berserker without difficulty. It's only natural for you to be Scar. Do you want Rin, Shinji? Huh? Yeah, of course. There's no other reason for me to come close to this castle. I see. Then wait until things are over. I'll give her to you once I get rid of Shiro Emiya. She's mine until then. It cannot be helped if you cannot compromise on that. It's regrettable, but you'll die here, Gilgamesh. The knight in red declares, still staring at the golden servant. Very funny, fool. What was that statement itself good enough reason for the man to kill Archer? The golden servant identifies the knight in red in front of him as a target he must kill. Wait, Gilgamesh, don't be rash. Let's be smart. Come on, he's saying he'll give her to me, so I'll let him. Archer doesn't have a master. I'm sure there's no master who would form a contract with him after how many times he's betrayed people, so he'll disappear if we let him be. I could take Tosaka after that. Shinji stares at the red knight, still smiling. His eyes look as if he's enjoying the fate of one who's about to disappear soon. How smart, Shinji. That decision is accurate. In that regard, you are most suitable as a master. Oh, you show promise. What a waste. I would have formed a contract with you had you come to me. Stepping away from the knight in red, Shinji claps his hands happily. But I'm sorry, I don't need any more servants. It's unfortunate, but you'll have to disappear here. You don't need to tell me. So what will you do? Will you fight me, or wait until I disappear? Yeah, I'll wait. We'll protect Tosaka until you get rid of Emiya. Sure. Why not? I'm not necessarily going to be able to read it too accurately since FSN Remaster is a fairly reading-intensive game, but still, I will glance and comment. But that's right. In that case, the thing is mine already, right? Then don't you think I can do anything to her now? He looks at the knight in red and Rin Tosaka with snake-like eyes. Those words test the loyalty of the knight in red. To that, the agreement with Shiro Emiya was that she will not be harmed, but that'll disappear by dawn. You can do what you wish once the time comes. The knight in red answers in an emotionless voice. Wow, Emiya. Emiya be cold. You hear that, Tosaka? Your servant is selling off his master. Sneering laughter echoes through the dingy room. Sneering laughter. What is sneering laughter? The Red Knight leaves the room as if he has no interest. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. He passes by Gilgamesh. He goes into the hallway, ignoring the red eyes that look at him amused. At that moment... Ooh, the King of Heroes says, mocking him. Faker. Faker! Faker! They really needed to make Emiya a Faker class. Dawn approaches. Our conversation dies off as we head deeper into the woods, and the silence weighs heavily. Once I'm through the forest, Shiro Emiya, will settle the score with that man. I have no chance of victory. My defeat is certain. I'm well aware that I'll be slaughtered as soon as we cross swords. I don't feel fear, but now not out of defiance or determination. I might die, but he's long dead. Though when I realized this, I knew that I was no different. There's no longer any point in feeling gloomy about my own death. 030 is consistent. I pass the castle gate. Saber's expression is dark. She knows what sort of fight awaits me. She's troubled by me and by him. No matter who lives or falls, the same man will disappear. She's in anguish, unsure whether she should put a stop to this absurd duel. She glances skyward. Her eyes look severe, or perhaps angry that such a vain battle must be fought. Okay, so the initial third doesn't sound too bad. That's good, at least. We come to a great ruined hall. Morning mist shrouds the clouds to be our mutual resting place. You're here. You took your sweet time, Shiro Emiya. His icy voice rings through the air. Its familiar baritone comes from the second story. The man stands there atop crumbling stairs that culminate in a sunlit plateau. Oh, we're not going to actually get a, screen. Okay, I thought we were going to get a cool cinematic shot there, but no, I guess not. His crimson cloak seems distant and hazy. Yeah, he doesn't really have a face right now, does he? But I can see him. I can make out every exact detail of my enemy, except for the fact that I don't think he really has a face. We share the same eagle eyes, after all. He's the servant assigned to the role of archer. He's a bowman, yet not a bowman, a contradictory person who possesses a vast number of noble phantasms and hurls them out unsparingly. All of his noble phantasms are replicas, and his personal noble phantasm is the ability to create infinite swords. I was the only one who failed to realize his identity. Well, Shiro, you are dumb, so that's understandable. Shiro Emiya is a dum-dum, after all. The next 20% seems easy except for 2 hard spots. Okay. Heroic spirits are summoned from all eras. If the past doesn't contain an appropriate hero, then one might be born in the future. Hey, J6. Welcome to the stream. How be things? I finally realized that there can't be 2 pendants. He's Shiro freaking Emiya. Idiot extraordinaire. Only just now realizing that there can't be 2 of the... Oh, Shiro. That's right. You held on to it as a keepsake of your savior for the rest of your life. It's the one and only memento of Rin Tosaka's late father. It's a paradox for 2 of them to exist. If Shiro Emiya held on to the pendant for the rest of his life, then... a catalyst is needed to summon a heroic spirit. There must be a connection between summoner and heroic spirit, just as there was with you and Saber. I did see that, J6. I did see that. They're also doing better relic sorting, which is going to be hopefully awesome. Rin Tosaka did not use a catalyst to summon her heroic spirit. She assumed that she summoned a servant she had no relation to whatsoever. But heroic spirits are never summoned by coincidence. There must be a material connection between summoner and spirit. No, Emiya, there does not need to just be a material connection. There can be a conceptual connection as well. Gosh, Emiya. Gosh. You should know better, man. If that's true, then there's only one explanation. Tosaka didn't have anything connect herself to Archer, but... Yes, this only happened because the heroic spirit had a callus connecting itself to the summoner. Pardon the yawn. The next 20% consistent has some difficult parts. Okay. The tiny gem of which there's only one in the world. Someone saved my life and I never found out who, but I kept the pendant with me, assuming that it must belong to my savior. That's the answer. He has Tosaka's pendant, which makes him... the heroic spirit, Emiya. My future self. The man standing before me perfected Shiro Emiya's incomplete abilities and achieved my ideals. I wouldn't say he perfected them. The red-clad knight looks down at me from atop the stairs. There's no sign of anyone else around. Only he and I stand here in this hall. Where's Tosaka? I left the girl somewhere in the castle. You should hurry if you're worried about her. You took so long getting here that I gave her to Shinji Mato first. What? Well, I kept my promise to you. I haven't harmed her. But it's no business of mine what anyone else tries to do with her. Still, I can hazard a guess. Shinji feels lust and animosity towards Rin. One hardly needs to imagine what might happen to Rin under his watch. The little brat may be losing his temper at her provocations as we speak. My blood boils. How can he just talk about her like that? Settle down, laddie. You can leave the loss to me. I'll rescue her right away, don't you fret. That's very Irish, calling laddie and lass. Very Irish of you there, Koo. Lancer. It's an order from my master. I'm working with you because I won't let the lass die. I gotta say, this has been more comfortable than I thought. Yesterday's work wasn't bad. It's not often I have a job that I actually like. With that flippant remark, Lancer ignores Archer and heads for the western terrace. Don't worry about it. I'm just doing this as a hobby. All my orders until now have left a bad taste in my mouth, you see. So I'll see this one through all the way. You can worry about your own mess. Take care of Tosaka. Lancer departs with an eye. Jeez, pardon the yawns. Everybody, pardon the yawns. But then, he stops and turns as if remembering something. So, the last 30% is consistent, but is difficult at parts. But it sounds like you've gotten consistent. It's just the final bit at the 93 to 96%. I believe in you there, Infinity Lord. What about you, Saber? Aren't you coming with? Saber looks pained. No. I'll remain here, Lancer. Her response isn't what you'd expect from a servant. You serious? Your current master's that lassie. You're only supposed to protect your master. I know that, but I want to stay here. I must bear witness to this battle. Yeah, you do that then. Lancer disappears. The blue-clad spearman easily leaps up to the second-story terrace and disappears down the hallway without another glance. Hey, yo, I'm Critzy. Welcome to the stream. Happy things. The gift card. What? What gift card? Did you win a gift card in a thing like... Okay, I was gonna say, it's been a while since I did any gift card giveaways, so I was confused. I'm surprised you still have it, though. I'm surprised you still have it, but I'm glad that you got good use out of it. I am glad you got good use out of it. But it's been a while. Happy things. $2 left. I mean, hey, $2 is $2. Who knows what you can get with $2? Archer doesn't make any move to stop him. Tosaka seems to have outlived her usefulness to him. I step forward through the rubble. I'm headed for the middle of the hall at the bottom of the stairs. Saber stays where she is. She intends to watch us fight and keep her emotions in check. 30-70 if you pass the 93 to 96. 30% you pass and you die due to being inconsistent as nerves. Nerves are killer, Infinity Lord. Nerves can be quite killer. But just gotta deep, calming breaths, and you can do it. Yeah, it's been a while, OM Critzy. How have things been? You won't interfere, then. I appreciate that, Saber. It would have been pointless to sever my contract with Reen only for you to get in my way later. I can hear her hesitate. She inhales slightly and answers the man standing atop the stairs. No, whatever happens, I'll not interfere with your duel with Shiro. Good. And I can kill the boy at my leisure. Good. Glad to hear you're doing good. Like I said, it's been a couple of years since I've done any giveaway because schooling, mainly, and so I've not had a consistent job, but hopefully, after I get my degree this coming February, I think is when I should have my degree. Yeah, I think like February. I'll start looking for a job in IT, and hopefully I can get a consistent job and start doing giveaways and stuff again. Yes, but I want you to answer me this, Archer. Why are you trying to kill Shiro? No particular reason. I can't accept his existence, just as he can't accept mine. I think I've got a pretty good chance. I know some people in the IT field, including apparently a family friend, so I'm relatively hopeful. Exactly. That's kind of why I'm not doing any giveaways right now, just because I do not have the disposable income to do so. If I had the disposable income, then yeah, I would definitely be doing more giveaways, but sadly, it is not so. That can't be true. You're Shiro himself. Are you not the person who embodies Shiro Emiya's ideals and became a hero? Why would you try to kill yourself? Hey, Janice, welcome to the stream. How be things? Why do you think that? The immature Shiro Emiya is a completely distinct entity from the hero called Emiya. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to exist at the same time. Is that true? I'm actually trying to think. Has there ever been another case where the servant version of a character has been around as their living counterpart? I don't know. Yes, Archer is very far away. I do not think he has a face right now. I think there's just like 3 dots on his model for his face. That's only because you're a servant. I've heard that once you become a counter guardian separate from the time axis, you can be summoned into the era where you lived. You're Shiro. You should be the very image of what he imagines and strives to become. So, why? Why'd you turn out so differently? I can hear her anguished question even if she doesn't say the words aloud. Now he's getting close. He starts down the stairs without answering. He can't answer. If he could, then he wouldn't be trying to settle things by force. Saber challenges him without actually stepping forward. It's alright, Saber. You can back off. With one hand, I gesture for her to move back to the entrance. And Shiro... I appreciate the thought, really, but we're beyond words now. His only goal from the start has been to kill me. Saber bites her lip in distress. She looks at me and then at Archer as he descends the stairs to the hall. Why, Archer? I don't understand. I've heard the Guardian are heroic spirits who protect humanity after death. Why would you think of killing yourself instead? Yeah, no. Poor Seba is still ignorant to the truth of a counter-guardian. Guardians? Archer stops and looks down at Saber emotionlessly. The word seems to have struck a nerve with him. You're wrong, Saber. Guardians don't protect humanity. They're just cleaners. They aren't the heroes I aspire to be at all. His voice changes. Hatred and scorn tinge his dispassionate tone. I indeed became the hero that Shiro Emiya always aspired to be. A hero of justice. Someone who always does the right thing and doesn't let anyone get hurt. The kind of person Shiro Emiya has always wanted to be, and who doesn't retreat from any disaster and saves everyone equally. Is he saying that he achieved that ideal? Yes, Shiro, he is saying he achieved that ideal. Yes, he is. Yeah, I have saved many people. I did whatever was in my power to live up to my ideals. I even saved the world. A hero, they called me. I finally achieved the status that I yearned for all my life. If you became a hero, then Shiro's efforts were rewarded, right? At the very least, you're here because Shiro Emiya's ideals were realized. Then you shouldn't have any regrets if that really did happen. Her verbal challenge doesn't have much force behind it. She already knows. She's aware that her words are merely wishful thinking. You ask if I realize my ideals? I did act according to my ideals and always did what was right. But at the end of the path, all I gained was regret. Only death awaited me at the end. I killed and killed and killed. I killed people to carry out my ideals, scattering innocent lives like so much dust, and saving thousands of times the number of people I killed. Saber stares up at Archer in shock, almost as if she's looking into a mirror. I don't know how many times I've repeated that, Saber. I fought as many times as was asked of me. I threw myself into mortal danger as long as there was conflict to be found. I've done it too many times to count. I didn't have a choice. When you save someone, there will always be someone else who isn't saved. The end of any battle only gives rise to new conflict. As long as that exists, so will heroes. I wonder who his lecture is directed at. The knight describes his past as he slowly descends the stairs. That's why I killed. I trampled dozens of wishes to save a single person. Then I ignored more people to save those whom I trampled on. I killed the hopes of dozens of people, saved those whom I could see, and killed the wishes of even more. In my pathetic hubris, I told myself each time that it would be the last time, that no one else would be sad anymore. But there never was a last time. As long as I was alive, I saw conflict no matter where I went. There was no end to it. It's not that I dreamed of a world without conflict, but I just didn't want anyone to cry in the world that I knew. Without a doubt, that was my very own dream. When you save one person, your perspective expands. Next time it's 10, after that 100, and how many after that? That's when I realized Shiro Emiya was clinging to a mere feel-good idealism. Why would you say that? Don't ask me something you already know, Saber. You experienced it yourself many times. It's impossible to save everyone. Some people must be allowed to die to save a kingdom. You encounter the reality of that on a daily basis, I'm sure. The Red Knight's words stunned Saber into silence, sapping her of the will to disagree. They must reflect Saber's inner darkness, too. That's right, there's only so many seats at the table. You can never provide enough chairs for everyone to sit in. Well, that's just because you're not a carpenter, Emiya. You can't save everyone, so some must be sacrificed. To do that, I killed those few leftover people with my own hands as quickly as possible to minimize the number of casualties. That's how a hero of justice, a man who always does right by his ideals, should behave. A wish for no one to be sad. An ideal to save as many people as possible. If someone holds both of these ideals, then there's only one path to take once they contradict each other. The hero of justice can only save the people he's decided to save. Yeah, judge, jury, executioner style. Sadness. I'm trying to say, if trying to save everyone means saving no one, then saving as many people as you can with the minimum sacrifice is the right choice. The Kiritsugu Dilemma. The hero saves a lot of people, isn't that right? That's why I killed. I had someone die for the greater good, all the while wishing that no one could die, that nobody would die. I brought despair to people while saying that no one would ever be sad anymore. In time, I got used to it. I betrayed my principles in my effort to live up to them. I only saved the people I chose to save while swiftly slaughtering those who opposed me. By allowing someone to be sacrificed, I stayed true to my old ideals. Except for more extreme! That's who the hero Emiya really is. So, Don't you think the world would be better off if such a man died sooner? He's right. A superhero can only save the people he's decided to save. When did we start talking about superheroes, Shiro? Did you seriously, like, not listen to half of Emiya's little speech there? Superhero was never mentioned once. Come on, Shiro, get with the program and pay attention, man. Pay attention. However, who ended up betraying those words in the end? I don't believe you. Even if that was true, I think you would only be willing to sacrifice yourself to stay true to your ideals. Archer stops again. For just an instant, a pained frown clouds his face. Hey, Viper, welcome to the stream. Howdy things. No, I wouldn't say they count as a superhero. I mean, would you call Media's original master a superhero? I certainly wouldn't. You didn't betray your ideals. You're betrayed by them and merely lost your way. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying to kill yourself to atone for your sins. Nor is Zaukin. Zaukin is definitely not a superhero. His sardonic grin disappears. Archer fixes saber with a cold glare and... That was a short laugh. Breaks into an uproarious laughter. That was not an uproarious laughter. That was barely a chuckle. As if she just said something hilarious. Now that was a classic. You think I'm atoning for my sins? Don't be ridiculous, Saber. I have no sins to be punished for, nor do I recall forcing such irresponsible matters onto anyone else. The Red Knight remains deadly calm. Only his low chuckle reverberates through the hall. That's right, Saber. I was betrayed and deceived many times. I was even framed for the crimes of a man whom I saved. I put my life on the line to end a war and ended up in the gallows after they accused me of masterminding the bloodshed. See, if I was guilty of anything, surely I paid for it in that moment. That can't be. But in the end, you... That's about it. But I didn't mind at all. I never did any of it for gratitude. I never asked to be glorified as a hero. I just wanted an outcome where everyone would be happy. Excuse me. But it never happened. Not during my life, nor after my death. His laughter's gone. Now his words are tinged only with hatred. Guardians are a neutral power, which prioritizes the survival of the ruling species. That power exists in a higher place and descends when the human world is threatened. I knew it was no different than slavery. I agreed to a fate of nothingness to give up my soul to the Counter Guardians and be removed from the time axis. As long as it means that someone else would be saved. In the past, I couldn't keep my vow as Shiro Emiya. So I thought that if I became a guardian and joined a force that prevents humanity's destruction, that it would be for the best. But the truth was different. Guardians don't save anyone. All they do is mop up. They exist only to use their power to erase everything humans have committed after the fact. They don't save people. They erase anyone who would do harm to the world, be it good or evil. Guardians are mass murderers who eliminate people in despair rather than saving them, so that others can enjoy their lives elsewhere may continue to live. It's completely absurd, How is that any different from anything else I've done? It's not different at all. In fact, it only created more despair. He couldn't make his dream come true on his own, so he devoted himself to a greater power. And he still ended up in the same place. He thought that a higher power might be able to grant his wish, but it was just a larger version of what he'd already been doing. Yes, this is very long exposition. Honestly, Shiro should have brought the popcorn, because this is an exposition between Archer and Saber. Is that what you've been carrying this whole time, Archer? Also, it just occurs to me, throughout all of UB-Dubs, we have not learned Saber's true name yet. I got used to that too. Humans are creatures of habit. The strong take from the weak in every era, and I learned that it was the most efficient way to prosper. I saw it so many times. Meaningless slaughter, pointless equality, and worthless happiness. I was forced to see it even when I didn't want to. Once I became a counter guardian, I lost my free will. I was summoned by the will of humanity to clean up their own mess. That's the conclusion I arrived at. An existence that erases the despair of other humans make. Counter guardians don't save anyone. They just erase the existence of people who aren't saved. Over and over. Whenever they see humans do something that causes their own destruction, they show up and burn it all down. The man became a hero thinking he could save as many people as possible. But in the end, that wish never came true. It was all wrong. That wasn't what I wished for. That's not what I became a counter guardian to do. The rage in his voice is probably directed at himself. The man that stands before us is a worn-down wreck. The hero Emiya was perpetually shown the ugliness of the people he wanted to save. In the end, he felt hatred. Hatred at his past self for valuing the humans he just kept taking from each other. I'm tired of cleaning up humanity's messes, but there's no way out of this cycle now that I'm a counter guardian. Just give it some time, Emiya. This takes place in what, like 2001? Give it like 15 years, I think, is when the JP servers started. Wait for Chaldea to come around, and then they'll summon you, and you can have a multi-year vacation, possibly forever. You know, it's very possible that this vacation lasts forever. I don't know. It might. It'd certainly be cool if it lasts forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But yeah, Chaldea is a vacation for Emiya, honestly. And then there's the moon. But do we really talk about the moon? Because the moon is the moon, and the moon is weird. Yes, Servant Fests. I mean, at least 2. That's something to look forward to, Emiya. But yeah, Emiya gets dealt with a bad hand in life, and I almost wonder if his inclusion in future Fate works is just a way for Nasu to almost apologize to him for putting him through so much suffering. It makes sense, you know? It would make sense. He is a lot more relaxed in Chaldea. And then there is the moon, which... it's the moon. You know, so that's its own thing. So yeah, I think, I mean, like, you got a future ahead of you, man. Just hold out for another 15 years. Which, who knows how long that'll be. Though that, I wonder, does this mean that Nasu himself conversed with the will of humanity to get Emiya's counter guardian status a little lightened? Possibly. I think you've got this, Infinity Lord. I think you've got it. Just gotta keep calm and carry on. Excuse me. You gotta believe in the you that believes in the me that believes in the you that believes in the me that believes in you. His cold eyes gleam with unshakable bloodlust. They aren't looking at Saber. Archer's sole objective is to erase himself. However, ever since he died, he can't erase the original Emiya that exists in a place outside of the time axis. It's impossible to erase someone who's become a counter guardian. Not necessarily true. Counter guardians are of the void. There's no point killing someone who doesn't exist on the world's axis. However, if it were possible, there would only be one way. If he were to kill himself before he became that hero, then that hero would never be born. Therefore, so you're going to kill Shiro with your own hands? Yes, I've been waiting for this chance. The probability of it happening was nearly 0. But I still gambled on it. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't. I continued working as Guardian, hoping for the opportunity to come. It won't work, Archer. You already exist as a counter Guardian, so it's too late. Even if you were to kill Shiro Emiya now, you yourself wouldn't disappear. Maybe you're right, but there's still a possibility it could work. I mean, you know, if you don't shoot your shot, sometimes you never know. That's very twisted logic there, but I can see it. You should always shoot any shots you got to take. Okay, not every shot to take, you know, like, don't put your life at risk trying to shoot a shot or anything like that. But I think you guys get what I'm saying here, right? It may be impossible to alter the past, but if I do it myself, the paradox might become too large. So large, perhaps, that the hero Emiya might simply cease to exist. Besides, Saber, I've only carried on as a guardian this long because I was waiting for this moment. I'm not about to have any sudden hope for a saving grace. I'm just taking out my anger on the boy Shiro Emiya, who acts like a clown for his pathetic ideals. And then the Red Knight steps into the same hall that I'm in. Only he and I stand amidst the rubble. No obstacles separate us. Our reasons for being here are simple. He wants to kill me, and I can't stand him. So I'm going to kick his ass. I step into the center of the hall. A few more steps and there will be no going back. Before that, do you regret it? Yeah, at least take the chance. That's probably a little bit better. There's only one question I need to ask him. Of course I do. No. You never should have tried to become a hero of justice. He spits the words out like venom. That's the last push I need. I see. Then we're two different people. No, I have not watched a video of it yet, Infinity Lord. I don't regret anything. No matter what happens, I won't regret this path. That's why I will never accept you. If you claim to be my ideal self, then I'll strike down those flawed ideals with my own hands. Exactly, I have no context yet. I've been busy, honestly. That's how I lived. I've come this far believing that it was right. It's probably mostly pride, like he said. I've lost more than I've gained. But still, Shiro Emiya won't back down, not even for what he's lost. I advance. A circuit in the back of my mind has already begun to sketch a blueprint. That way of thinking is the root of it all. One day you'll catch up to me. Like hell I will. So you'll let me kill you here, then? I step toward my enemy. We're close enough to cross swords now. Neither of us are armed. We're going to go at it barehanded. Shiro Emiya isn't a swordsman. We make swords. So, looks like you understand. Battle with me means a sword-making competition. His hands grip a pair of swords. That night, that simple pair of blades that took my breath away at Ryoto Temple. They were rare masterworks forged by a famous smith at the cost of his wife's life. Begin projection. I initiate my prepared blueprint and replicate the swords just by visualizing them. They're so flawed. My swords, which I thought are perfect, are terribly vague compared to his. My inferior imagination has produced a degraded delusion. Most likely, they'll shatter against his swords. I take another step forward. A deliberate, firm step. Rubble crumbles beneath my feet. The sound seems to declare a start to the duel. Can you keep up with my replication? The instant your position drops, you'll die. Our swords confront each other. An identical pair of weapons. 4 blades overlap as if attracted by magnetic force and clash. See, Shiro, this is when, while you're clashing swords, you just project another sword directly at the base of Emiya's skull. So that way when he steps backward, the blade presses into his skull and it kills him. You can totally do that, right? He easily tracks his target down. Lancer may seem as if he specializes in combat, but he's actually quite skilled at magecraft. He learned to master more than just Gay Bolg in the arcane fortress called the Land of Shadows. It's not a fortress, though. It's an actual other realm. He's a hero because he learned the 18 primordial runes. Of course, he rarely flaunts his magic skills because he prefers to fight with a spear rather than magecraft. Today is one of those rare occasions. Got him. He drops something which has been running on the ground. A rock inscribed with Berkano rune returns to being a mundane pebble. Its task complete. Berkano. That's companionship. He summoned 3 spiders and 3 flies, or is it abyssal flies now? I don't remember what the Binding of Isaac update changed with the Berkano rune. I really don't. The fact that you have to look up a guide for Sith either shows how long her skills are or how stupid you are. I don't know much about Sith's skills just yet myself. I have not gotten her leveled, and she's on the list, but she's not high. It's going to be a while before Sith gets leveled. Who the hell are you? Oh, Shinji. A boy he hasn't seen before stands up in a panic. The shrill voice sounds familiar. Lancer retracts that thought and realizes who this is. Aren't you Rider's master? Thought you kicked the bucket a while ago. He breaks off. Rin Tosaka is behind the boy. She's tied to a chair. That's fine. She's being held captive, so that makes sense. But several details stand out. First, her chair is tipped over. Since she's tied to the chair, she's on the ground, too. There's sand in her long black hair and something red around her mouth. She probably cut her lip. It's slight, but one can make out bruising around the lips. Are you Lancer? Who sent you here? That wasn't the deal. Casual fist plants itself in his cheek. Lancer's trivial backhand sends the boy crashing into a wall. Sorry about that, kid. My hand moved before my mouth did. He looks unconscious, but not dead. Granted, if Rin's face had been a little paler and her clothes more disheveled, it wouldn't have ended with just a knockout. You would have paid a heavy price. Oh, Ku. Why couldn't you have been even more chivalrous? Man, if Ku Kalane was just a little more chivalrous and ended Shinji here, then a lot of bad stuff would not end up happening. To be clear, Lancer doesn't care about the treatment of prisoners, but he doesn't like it when someone else steals his prey. Of course, enemies he's killed and women he's fond of both count as prey. Rin Tosaka wonders aloud from her bound position. Her voice sounds sleepy as if she was unconscious. Hey, it's morning sleep ahead. Lancer approaches her with an out-of-place greeting. Wait, this is the Einburn's castle. I know, stay still, I'm gonna cut your bindings. You can do as you please after that. It's up to you whether you want to stop those idiots brawling in the hall or leave out the back door. His crimson spear materializes in a whirl of air. Thanks, Lancer. Behind you! Rin's warning makes him turn. Someone even he didn't expect stands there. So, Infinity Lord, outside of next year's Summer Servants, I have no idea what the summoning schedule is going to be like going forwards. Absolutely, positively, zero ideas of who's going to be summonable. I'm hoping that I'm going to have time to save up quartz until next summer. Really, really hoping, but you never know. With firm footsteps, a man walks past where Shinji Mato panic into a wall. That's enough, Lancer. I told you to cooperate with him, but to not involve yourself this deeply. Kirei Kotomine, who they thought cast or killed. Rin yelps in surprise. Lancer glares suspiciously at the priest. When did you convert to a new religion? I thought my master didn't believe in coming to the front lines. I've no faith to convert from. You are the one who disobeyed orders, Lancer. I thought I ordered you to eliminate Archer. Did you fail? He'll kill himself whether I lift a finger or not. I came here to wrap up some unfinished business. I was gonna ask you're here, but I assume you put that kid up to this. Yeah, I don't know much about Samurai Remnant, honestly. Like, again, I don't like the Dynasty Warriors style of games. So I've never played it. I haven't even watched anybody play it, to be honest. I don't appreciate such insinuations. We're collaborators, mutual allies working together to obtain the Holy Grail. Shinji groans underneath the rubble. The priest doesn't even spare him a glance. Nobody except for one or two servants tempt you, Infinity Lord. Okay. Yeah, I'm like at 90 quartz right now, but I have like 60 rank up quests I think I can do. So that's some quartz. Okay, I figured you wouldn't die at that easily. Not only are you as persistent as a cockroach, you've been pulling strings behind the scenes. 63 rank up quests, yeah. So that is at least another 60 times 2 is 120 plus another 180 quartz, so that's something for me. Talk about awful taste. Why are you manipulating someone as harmless as Shinji? He's harmless to you, is he? How very like you to say that, Reed. I would have no criticisms of you at all if you were only slightly less capable apprentice. The priest chuckles. His expression is that of a priest blessing someone on their deathbed. A chill runs down Reen's back. If she realizes what her fate is. The next 6 months, you just want New Year's Servant MP1, if possible MP5 of the SR of Samurai Remnant collab. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. There's login quartz and all that kind of stuff. We will make the quartz back. We will get our quartz back, and we will be able to roll for who we want to roll for. Probably next year. The priest looks down at his apprentice of 10 years with a saintly smile. Hold on, Kotomine. What are you going to do with the woman? Did you lie when you said you wanted to help your student? Lancer stands between his master and the girl, glaring. Of course not. She's an important pawn whom I've worked to nurture. I can hardly retire her now after deceiving her for the last decade. That's why I assigned you to protect her. It only extended her life by 2 days, but wouldn't you say that's more than enough parental affection? The priest walks past Lancer to look at the girl sprawled on the floor. Reen glares up at her former mentor. You phony priest. I knew you were capable of anything, but you've actually been a master this whole time. Breaking the rules doesn't even begin to describe a referee playing the game himself. And yet you're taking this very calmly, Reen. You must have figured it out. Of course I did. The reason I never showed you my servant was because I suspected you. But I didn't think you'd trick me from the very start. The very start. The priest frowns. Seems he wasn't expecting her to say that. What, you got a problem with that, Kirei? No, I'm just wondering what you mean by the beginning. I have no idea who this Ayoko is. Absolutely no idea. So, don't be afraid to share the name, but especially if it's a collab servant. If it's a collab, then I'm less likely to stumble upon them. So, and I'm more likely to forget unless I play the game. And I don't know the Mahoyo game, so yeah. His lips twist into a sneer. The priest gazes down with a look of true elation. Wait, Kirei, do you mean from the beginning of this Holy Grail War? Or are you speaking of the previous war? Then everything falls into place. Reen's face goes pale and she stares up at the man who mentored her for 10 years with an incredulous look. So you killed him. Naturally, he was my master whom I owed a great deal. I spared no effort in betraying him. There's a grinding noise. The girl's staring at the ground, gritting her teeth in anguish. Fuck off and die, you damn priest. Even hell's too good for you. I hope everyone else beats the shit out of you forever in limbo. A piece of shit like you deserves to be turned into a pincushion just outside of heaven, where you definitely don't belong. In a rage, she hurls abuse after abuse at him. Come on, Reen, you could have done better than that. Come on, Reen. She had better than that in her. Of course, the priest is unbothered by such trifles. Someone else is taken aback by the girl's sudden fit, however. Shinji never imagined that Reen could bear such emotion, even in his dreams. I said I'd take Tosok, remember? I'm the only one who still has business with her. You just need to wait at the church for me to wrap things up. No, I still need her too. I'll have her become the Holy Grail. Shinji doesn't understand what the priest is saying. Only the priest and the girl he intends to sacrifice do. This will be an opportune time to eliminate Archer and Saber. If they offer any unnecessary resistance, it'll affect her freshness. We should settle this quickly. The priest steps away from the girl. Only Lancer's in front of Reen now, armed with a spear. You little... Dispose of this garbage, Lancer. The vessel does not need a heart. Only Shinji reacts to those words. Reen just glares at the priest, gnashing her teeth. So, the kaleidoscope? No, the kaleidoscope's just one of the true magics. I have little to no idea what the others are. I mean, doesn't Ilya become a user of... Yeah, Heaven's Feel. The priest's smile already told her she's going to die here. She knows that no help is coming, and that no one would hear her, even if she begged for help. So she absolutely refuses to snivel. It's the only form of resistance she can offer, and it represents her defiance. I know next summer, I'm very much looking to Aresh and Achan, and I think Dobranya is one of them as well, as Talalak. Beyond those four, I'm struggling to... Oh, BB. We have a third BB coming next summer. But beyond those 5, I honestly can't remember who's next summer. Or anniversary. She won't give up till the very end. Help might still come at the last possible second, or a miracle might occur, like someone that destroys the entire room, leaving only her intact. I know it's impossible, though. She won't give up, but she knows what is and isn't possible. That's why she isn't scared. There's only one thing she's worried about. It's awkward to imagine what face he'll make when he comes to save her after she's dead. She doesn't want to make him cry. But I do not want to know, then. I do not want to know what I do not know. It pisses her off thinking that she'll make him cry, and she doesn't know how to apologize for it. Of course, she can't apologize if she's dead, but she doesn't want to make him cry. Sorry, Emiya. Guess I'm tapping out first. I have no idea when Ordeal Call 2 happens, and I do not want to know! I will pointedly say, do not tell me when Ordeal Call 2 is due. I want to be surprised, because it will ruin my streaming schedule, because I'm going to have to drop everything else for Ordeal Call 2. Gosh, I hope it does not come out in this October when Legend Zosh shows up. If it comes out this October, that's going to be so annoying. Ugh. So she apologizes now while she still can. It doesn't matter, but at least it makes her feel more at ease. What's wrong, Lancer? Your opponent's a young girl. It should be easy enough to stab her. The priest has no mercy. However... Forget it. I'm not playing along this time. If you want me to do that, use a command spell. Lancer answers Reen's enemy with defiance. What? The priest narrows his eyes. Master and servant glare daggers at each other, and the temperature in the room seems to drop. I see. You leave me no choice. I hate to waste a command spell on a task I can do myself, but... Excuse me. The priest lifts his left arm. He activates the command spells inscribed on it. Then I order you to kill yourself, Lancer. Lancer coughs blood, but the red droplets that dribble from his mouth pale in comparison to the torrent of blood gushing from his chest. Damn you, Kotomine. His murmur can't even be heard. Lancer stabbed himself through the chest with his own spear, completely destroying his heart. Goodbye. Your role in this is over. The azure-armored spearman collapses to the floor. Pooling scarlet seeps into the floor. Lancer shows no sign of getting up. He's fallen by his own spear on his own master's orders. The priest moves. He approaches Reen with easygoing steps and takes a knee next to her. He reaches out with a hand to the bound girl's chest as if to pluck her heart out. Hey, that wasn't the deal, Kotomine. You said I could have Tosaka. The priest glances at Shinji without answering. You can't kill her. I still owe her a lot. I need her alive. Shinji winds his back to Lancer's corpse. Hang on. If I've learned anything from the Abridged, it's that if they don't glitter away, then they are A-okay. Man, UB-Dub Abridged is awesome. I'll say it again. I've said it many a times, I'll say it again. But his protests die off. The boy cowers away from the priest's severe glare. The priest looks back down at the girl. Any last words? I'll hear them out. A simple concession. You know what I'm thinking already. Reen answers in her usual tone. I suppose I do. You won't give up until the very end, Reen. At the same time, your ability to instantly accept hard truths is one of your greatest strengths. Very good. That contradiction is quite delectable. No, I think Herc is the cockroach. Best Doggo just has stolen the life of a cat. He doesn't hesitate. The priest roughly shoves his hand into the girl's chest over where her heart would be. Okay, Kotomine. Wait, no, Reen is 18 in this, so I can't say call Chris Hansen. Dang it. That was a perfectly good lineup for a Chris Hansen joke. And I can't do it. Darn. But Reen's 18, so I guess just police. Somebody arrest this man. She closes her eyes. There's a stabbing sound. A heart is pierced and blood spills out. The stone room becomes a tomb for yet another dead body. Reen is the one who gasps. The floor is drenched in blood. The dripping comes from somewhere high up. From the floor, Reen looks up to see that it's coming from the priest's chest. Okay, now, only thing here, only suggestion here, Lancer, is if you're gonna sneak attack somebody that's about to kill someone, after you yourself survived a stab in the heart, while it is karmically just to go for a stab in the heart as well, do a stab right through the base of the skull. As Thanos has said, you should have gone for the neck. Blood rises from his esophagus. The hole in his chest is obviously a fatal wound, and the thing that stabbed him from behind is none other than a cursed spear known especially for piercing. The priest feels no emotion. He simply looks at Lancer behind him, blood running from his mouth. Should have gone for the head. It's the same feeling. Double tapping, yes, double tapping works too. Kotomine should have double tapped here to make sure Lancer was gone. I'm pretty sure Lancer does do some form of double tap. You. Too bad for you, Kotomine. I wouldn't be a hero if this much was enough to kill me. Lancer's sardonic tone clearly sounds like you bluff. There isn't a hint of vitality in it. Without a heart, his body's already starting to fade. He pulls the spear out of Kotomene, who collapses lifelessly to the ground. Or not. Trained in the arcane and blessed by the divine he might have been, but he was still only human. There was no surviving a thrust to the heart from Lancer's cursed spear. So that's how this ends, you fool. Lancer leans his crumbling body against a wall. But if it buys him a little time, after collapsing once, he's bound to disappear for good. He's lost his heart and his master. The only reason his body is somehow holding itself together is because of his legendary tenacity. Nice, you dumbasses! Go ahead and kill each other! Shinji. Shinji's cackling brings Rin back to her senses after watching the priest die. What was all that about taking the Holy Grail? You were fucking useless until the very end, father. Shinji kicks the priest's body. Oh, Shinji's the one who knows about double tapping. Oh. So Shinji exercises the double tap procedure here. Got it. It doesn't move at all. Pleased with himself, he kicks the priest's face as hard as he can. Okay, now he's just doing some overkill here. Making a dry, crunching noise. The sound and sensation delight him more than expected. Don't complain now, I won't hold what you said earlier against you, since it would be pretty lame to talk shit about a dead man. Shinji snickers. Having lost all reservations, he closes in on Rin eagerly. Sorry to keep you waiting, Tosaka. Everyone keeps getting in the way, but we're finally alone now. There's still 3 more servants. I'm sure it'll all be over by the time you're tired of crying. Shinji scrambles forward on all fours like a lizard looming over Rin. Oh, jeez. I don't think it was this... I want to say they didn't go this far with the anime. That's just kind of a creep... yeah, Shinji's a creep. He's a monster. I'm still glad you're here. I'm not finished with you yet. You're such a pain, Tosaka. If you go dying on me, wouldn't that be really unfair for me being this patient? Shinji, die in a ditch. Oh, gosh. I feel sick just reading this. My grail's as good as mine. I'll share it with you if you become... Blah. Unbelievable. You really are a moron. Tied up and on the ground, Rin scoffs like she's talking to a child. What did you just say? I'm shocked you still haven't learned your lesson, Shinji. Kiri was just manipulating you. Listen to me. You can't handle that servant. Even you should be able to tell because you're close to him. So open your eyes already and quit this death match. It still isn't too late for you. If you don't want to die, then get out of here as soon as you possibly can. So you're just gonna beg for your life, is that it? You're so dumb, Tosaka. That jackass Kotomene is dead. Who's gonna stop me now? Shinji reaches for Rin. But the second he does... I love the drop of the... Okay, that was great. That was excellent timing. The dramatic music rising to a pitch just completely cuts out with a simple oi. He goes flying for a second time. Oh, he's going flying. Love it. Shinji slams into the wall again. Little punk. That isn't a woman the likes of you can touch. Lancer glares at Shinji and lazily walks over to Rin. What? You're still gonna mouth off at me when you're a dead man walking? I feel like Shinji has a lot of complexes here. The spearman stops. He turns and faces Shinji. You could have died peacefully if you just taken a dirt nap. Now I'll make you... No, I'll make it hurt for what you just did. Oh, God, Shinji, you are pathetic. Come, Gilgamesh, you're up. This guy wants to die like a badass. Shinji raises his voice. He calls for his servant, the mightiest slayer of heroes. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Are you listening? I said get out here. His voice rings out. The golden servant does not appear. The bloody blue spearman takes a step forward towards Shinji. Shit, what the fuck? You're supposed to be dead. Stop trying to look cool. Just die. Don't you know how lame you look, right, you morons? A strike whips out. A single precise strike like a flash of light stabs Shinji in the right shoulder. His scream fills the room. Lancer withdraws his spear, looking bored. He puts his face in front of Shinji's. Get lost. I might be on the verge of death, but I could kill 1,000 more like you easy. Gotta love... As much as we love to hate Shinji, you have to give props to his VA for nailing these terrified screams. Just gotta give the VA props. Hugging the wall and cowering away from the spear pointed at him, Shinji leaves the room in a mad scramble. Waste of energy. With a heavy sigh, Lancer walks back over to Reen. The wind-cutting spear severs her bindings like tissue paper. Thanks, Lancer. Reen thanks him for her freedom. She bows to Lancer, ignoring the filth around them. I just felt like it. No need to thank me. Suddenly, he collapses limply. Reen can't catch him in time. He's too weak to even lean against the wall now, and he slumps on the ground. His legs won't move. His limbs were already long dead. It seems nonsensical that he managed to stand up, kill his master, and set Reen free. A sudden cough of blood stains his blue armor further. Hold on, I'll close your wounds. Reen rushes over to the bloody spearman. But he stops her with a hand. Don't bother. It won't be that easy to heal my heart after Gable destroyed it. You don't have the energy to spare anyway. But don't worry about it. I'm used to going out like this. Heroes always ended up dying on somebody else's absurd orders, you know. His easygoing tone is the same as it always is. Even seconds away from death, the spearman doesn't change the way he acts. Reen stands up wordlessly. Seeing that, Lancer breathes a sigh of relief, as if a weight was lifted from his shoulders. I guess we're both pretty boring partners, huh? Yeah, well, mine's just hard to deal with. Not boring. You got that right. I wouldn't complain if I had a woman like you for my partner. Sadly, I've never been involved with any good woman. Good grief. Looks like that's one bad habit I'll never fix. So that line there is the real reason why Ku dies here. This line here, I'm not gonna say that involved with means had any relations. I think he's just ragging on all the women in his life. So I think what Nasu did here is he cut out the real reason for Ku dying, because he didn't want people to know about Shisho early. But after this point, Shisho must come in and just skewer him for that insult, you know? I think that's the truth of his death scene here. And Nasu just edited it to be a little bit more dramatic. Cut out the comedy bit, you know? He chuckles dryly. And then, hurry on, I'll take him with me. You need to get back to your own partner. The spearman urges the girl to leave, as he prepares Ansus, the fire rune, in his hand. Ansus is vision, according to Binding of Isaac. As soon as he inscribes it on the ground and charges it with all of his remaining magical energy, it'll burn the entire room to cinders. Reen understands his determination and turns to leave. Goodbye, Lancer. I didn't know you long, but I'm fond of people like you. She runs off to the Great Hall. Come back when you're older, lass. A hearty guaf escapes his lips. Flames engulf him. The blaze consumes Lancer and his master's bodies. Not a trace is left behind. Like a mirage, the crimson spear and azure armor disappear into the flames. We didn't get a damaged Ku sprite. Lame. We needed to see his wound, see how rough he was. I think my melt's almost spawned 14. Identical swords clash. Shiro, Emi, and the man's attacks are completely equal. Yet each time they clash, my blades break and I'm badly wounded. I'm cut deeply by attacks I should have intercepted. His concho shatters mine and he cuts me open in a sidelong slash. I desperately try to avoid the strike, but I can't. Excuse me. The wound isn't fatal, but it lacerates my muscles and will probably become a critical injury. Damn it. I bite back the pain and try to knock the enemy's Bakuya right out of his right hand. What? He shatters my weapon and blocks me there too. Our swords and skills should be the same, but I'm facing an insurmountable wall. Did you think your concho could match mine? Your concept of the fundamental points is still lacking. Yeah, I'm only like 300,000, I think, before Melts is Bond 14, and then it's a long journey to Bond 15. Yay! It's only natural that the weapon will crumble if there's no principles to its structure. Even if the appearance and materials match your visualization, it'll collapse if the image doesn't make sense. Simultaneously, he unleashes his attack to cut open. He unleashes attacks to cut open. Blech. My flank and my forehead. Pardon the yawn. I immediately project a pair of swords to parry with. I have a headache so bad it nearly blinds me. It isn't from the burden of projection. It's a headache. It's that headache from before. The hunch I had when I was looking for Tosaka. The fever I get every time I face him. This time it's the greatest burden yet, and it's driving my body crazy. I fend off slash after slash. I attempt to cut him down in return. And each time the red headache burns my eyes. It is a contradiction of Shiro Emiya and heroic spirit Emiya existing at the same time. Since the moment we recognized each other, my body has felt off every time we've made contact. I traced his swordsmanship and even acquired his replication skills. It makes sense that I picked it up quickly. After all, his skills are the most optimal combat techniques for Shiro Emiya, honed over years of experience. How could I not take to them quickly? In catching up to him, I'm learning things about my future self that I shouldn't have. My eyes go numb. Each swing of a sword, each shower of sparks creates flashes of light, robbing me of vision. My skills can't keep up, and each attack dyes my vision red. I wouldn't mind if that was all this was. My body's already torn to shreds. A headache is nothing compared to the feeling of having my stomach cut open with a branding iron. The problem is the headache won't stop as long as there's something else to draw out of him. That's 5. You should be reaching your replication limit. I know your magical energy capacity all too well. You look like you have 3 left. I went through the trouble of showing you all that, but you still have the wrong idea. I hear a hint of disappointment in his taunts. The wrong idea. As if that matters right now. More importantly, I need to do something about this headache. It's coming from you. Anyway, it's impossible even if you've reached it. The current Shiro Emiya can't generate enough magical energy. Either way. My headache worsens. He brandishes his sword as if to settle this once and for all. You never had a chance of winning this. And brings his swords down on my head in a crisscrossed slash. I raise my swords to defend and they shatter. My body goes numb like it's been pounded with a sledgehammer, and the headache burns not just my eyeballs, but my brain. It's flowing in. So, this, right now, is even scarier than the pain. There his memories. The reason he's changed so much. I'm seeing fragments of the events that Shiro Emiya will experience in the future. I don't know if they're right or if they're wrong. I'm sure nobody can be the judge of that. Beautiful things were ugly, and ugly things were beautiful. Objectively, there was nothing repulsive about them. So what made him go astray? Sophistry, misrepresentation, treachery, narcissism. Those make up most of what I saw. I am the bone of my sword. And yet he didn't seem to mind. He swore oaths and had ideals to uphold. He didn't care what he lost. Even if others betrayed him, he believed that there would be a future as long as he didn't betray himself. If he never complained or even showed himself getting hurt. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. Then to the people around him, he was no different from a machine. He was useful to have around, so they used him. They only saw him as a tool. But even a machine can have ideals to uphold, so he accepted being treated as a convenient tool. I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, nor known to life. It wasn't something he could tell anyone else. The more he failed to save people and the more people he killed, the less he could profess his ideals. Eventually, his only option was to stick to them as resolutely as he could. The result? Shiro Emiya failed to uphold the ideals he dreamed of, even once, and learned that he was a nuisance spouting foolish drivel. Have withstood pain to create weapons. Bond 12 going on today? Nice. Ooh, that's a brutal look for him. Look, this was his fate. Look, this is where you'll end up. So they can show us Archer skewered by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different weapons, but they can't show Ku with his chest blasted open with no heart in it. Wow. Wow. Double standards much. My heart breaks. Don't feel sorry for him. 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 But my heart feels like it's gonna break when I know that this is the path that awaits me. Yet these hands will never hold anything. Everything you believed in. Everything you believe in. After you were shown that it was all a lie and a fanciful dream, you still... We clash again. This time you come straight from my heart. Not even dual swords, but some spike-like sword. I retreat to gain some distance. I'm holding a sword I replicated in the spur of the moment. I fight against the nausea. What did I just see? Yeah, FGO drop rates are not great. Not great at all, Viper. Forget it. Forget you saw anything. I just need to defeat him now. I can't afford to dwell on anything else. I miscalculated. I've heard of evocations where the user is possessed by a previous life to learn their past skills, and it looks like your skills are being sharpened each time we fight. Panting, I ready myself for his next strike. Meaning that you're drawing out more of me than just projection. Look at your face. You're absolutely miserable. You must have seen it then. He holds his breath. Don't make me say it. Don't make me remember. You tell me what I just saw, Makes this faster then. It's all true, Shiro Emiya. The red cloak flutters. In an instant, he closes the gap and thrusts the spike at me. My weapon is destroyed in one blow. A sword I hastily projected for the first time can't hold up against his weapons. I'd say a full... Do the Fool because the Fool is an 11 pull. And you'll get an extra summon out of that. So I'd say if you're gonna roll, then do the full 11 spin. And yet, he throws aside his weapon while I'm unarmed. The next projection is Durandal, said to be the sword of conquerors. I skip 4 counts and instantly project a replica of his weapon. Of course, my imitation is broken with 1 attack. I have fallen. I was pushed back and fell backward onto the rubble. And then I'm surprised. Just that fall was enough to stain the rubble red. Huh? I just never noticed my body is dead both inside and out. Enough. You appear here like a fool even knowing you can't win. You've been a prisoner to a ridiculous ideals your entire life, and you're a fake who doesn't even have a will of his own. Do you understand who you really are now? His voice resounds. I'm covered in wounds. Each of them is deep enough to sink a finger into. I'm seriously screwed. Finger-deep wounds? Ugh. That sounds painful. Someone like that doesn't deserve to live. I guarantee it. Shiro Emiya's life is worthless. Your emotion of wanting to save others is fundamentally wrong. You're a defective fake that should never have existed. I almost have no magical energy left. To make matters worse, my magic circuits are burning. They've been burning since yesterday's projection, actually. Something that was about to break down is now completely broken. That's all. But my body protests that it can still fight. I've just been playing tough, pretending my broken heart is whole. So, I need to stand up and beat him. It's futile. I'm your ideal self. You should know by now that you can't win against me. I invest what remains of my consciousness into all of my circuits. My nerves splinter and scream. Within myself, I weave together 8 counts without skipping a beat. Trace on. I acquire his dual swords, Kancho and Bakuya, a pair of masterworks forged by an ancient smith. I love it when they make the exclamations themselves. Saves me the time. I swing. I'll keep attacking over and over and over with all my remaining strength until I burn out. Dual swords need dual swords to intercept them. Archer switches weapons to Kancho and Bakuya, then defends against my combo without taking a single step back. I see. Of course you'd refuse to accept it. As long as I'm your ideal, Shiro Emiya has to reject me more than anyone. His calm words piss me off. He just keeps quipping at me while I can hardly even breathe. Damn you. I attack desperately. He locks our swords together without parrying me. I'm being pushed back, weapons and all. There's a vast gap in our physical strength. I don't have a chance of winning a punching match. Answer me this, Shiro. Do you really want to become a hero of justice? For an instant, the sudden question makes my mind go blank. What kind of question is that? I don't want to become one. I will become one. I put my muscles into it and glare right back at him. And he answers, that's right, you have to become one. Because that's the only emotion Shiro Emiya feels. You can't reject or deny it. Even if it isn't a desire that came from within yourself. His heart-wrenching words stop me in my tracks. What? It's a desire that didn't come from within me. I deny it before I even consider what that means. I can't let him make me say it. I can't realize what he means. Deep down, I know that if I comprehend what he means, then Shiro Emiya's very foundation will crumble away. Oh, looks like you've started to sense it. Or perhaps you realize it right away and desperately try to distance yourself from the memory. I can't even recall it anymore. No. I clamp my lips shut. I don't want to know. I know that I shouldn't know. So I finally realize that I have to know. Shiro Emiya's paradox. The answer to what my mistake was, and what's wrong with me. I don't have your memories anymore. But I still remember that scene. An inferno as far as the eye could see, and the dense odor of death. Desperately begging for help and the emotion of being saved. Kiritsugu's Emiya profound relief when he rescued me. I'd accepted my death and my heart was empty. Then, someone saved me. My rescuer smiled at me with tears in his eyes. When I saw that, I thought that he looked so happy. Yeah, you didn't have a survivor's guilt for being the only person to be rescued. You simply looked up to Kiritsugu Emiya. You thought you wanted to be like him because he looked so happy when he rescued you. Right. Back then, I wasn't the one who was saved. I consider a thought that I've been avoiding. If Kiritsugu caused that fire, then the guilt would have been unbearable. It was a tragedy without a single survivor. Kiritsugu must have searched for survivors like a man possessed. And then he found one when none were expected. He found a child that should have been beyond helping, who shouldn't even have been alive. What a miracle that must have felt like. I understood that he saved me. I didn't know his circumstances. It was good enough for me that someone rescued me from that hell. Even if the emotion was directed at himself, his will to save me and the earnestness for wishing for someone to be saved were all genuine. And that was enough. It was enough for me that Kiritsugu Emiya saved my life after I had become nothing. That's why. It's only natural for a child to look up to his parents, but you took it too far. If you only wanted to be like Kiritsugu, become what he wanted to be, that would have been enough. But he left you that curse. I don't need to say it, do I? It means everything to you. Your dream, huh? That was the answer. A man even emptier than me heard my innocent words and trusted his wish to me in relief and passed away. From that moment on, Shiro Emiya had no choice but to become a hero of justice. My own feelings didn't matter. All I needed to do was become the person I looked up to for the sake of someone I looked up to when I was young. The wish for everyone to be happy was an impossible one, which came from Kiritsugu, not me. You must have realized it by now, Shiro. Your ideals are borrowed. They're an imitation of what Kiritsugu failed to become and what he believed was right. I grit my teeth and desperately try to bolster my breaking heart. And yet, a hero of justice don't make me laugh. There is no way that the desire to live for others, which you repeated countless times, came from yourself. It's pure hubris for someone like you to want to help other people. His blades cut through the air. His swings, filled with reproach, rained down upon me with unprecedented aggression. Oh, that was a shot. I watched with raging fury of blows. I accept that I'm gonna die here just like I did 10 years ago. Impact after impact pounds me down. Once beautiful swordsmanship has deteriorated to brute force. My left arm trembles after blocking the strikes. The shock of it has broken my fingers that hold the sword. I scrounge up every bit of mental focus I have left to create Kancho and just barely deflect another slash. He's got me. His first assault already pushed me to near death. I won't survive the next barrage of blows. Yet somehow, my heart's broken, but my body denies him with all its might. It screams that he's wrong, like a part of me earnestly feels that it's wrong to admit he's right and let myself die here. I look up. My eyes aren't working. They don't see my enemy, they only replay his memories. Within them, there's an image of me huddled up like a turtle in its shell, trying desperately to survive. The more I hear more than the sounds of blades clashing. It's him. With each attack, he berates himself. That's right, you looked up to his wish to save people because it was petty. It was pretty. I take his sword strikes again and again and again. Bakuya is broken. Kancho is my last lifeline. That idea never sprang from you. If it isn't hypocrisy, then what is? Kancho breaks and my life begins to peter out. My chest hurts. Sure, Emiya's heart is torn apart, not by a waterfall of sword strikes, but by Archer's words. You were driven by obsession to live your life for others. You kept running, never feeling like you were suffering or realizing you were failing. Denial after denial. With each rejection, I lose my will to fight. My body already wants to retire, unable to take the physical shock. And yet, the very same body keeps denying him, desperately. But you're just a hypocrite. Your hypocrisy can't save anything. You don't even know what you're supposed to be saving. I'm sent flying. I sail through the air, not unlike during the encounter with Berserker. But I plant my feet. His blow threatened to send me tumbling into the rubble, but I stand my ground with all my might. My body knows. It's stubbornly refusing to fall because it knows that it can't get up again once it does. I plant my broken concho into the ground and use it to support my weight. I pitch forward, nearly falling over, and I can't get up. I brace myself against concho with both hands, holding onto it like a walking stick. I must look pathetic. From the side, might even look like I'm kneeling before him. Excuse me. Your ideals are morally bankrupt. The idea of valuing others over yourself, of wanting everyone else to be happy, is a fantasy, a fairy tale. If you can't live without clinging to that dream, then let it drag you to your death. My life isn't worth living. No, he said that my entire life was worthless. My weapons are gone. It's futile to even stand up. Meanwhile, he doesn't even look winded, much less wounded. This duel's decided. No, it was from the very beginning. There's no way Shiro Emiya could ever match the heroic spirit, Emiya. But this is wrong too. If the gap in our abilities was truly that large, then this silly scuffle wouldn't even happen. It's my heart that's lost this fight. I'm weak because I realized that I'm wrong and accepted that he's right. I've only lost on that front. Because... bullshit. What? Because my body's been protesting that it won't lose to you. Why else? Why else would it get stronger every time you dismiss my ideals as fake? Shut up. That's a load of bullshit. I can reach him. I know I can. If my weapons are broken, I'll just use them as they are. If everything I have is broken, then I'll mobilize everything I don't have. If I haven't lost, then there are depths I have still yet to reach. My headache throbs again. For an instant I see his scenery, probably for the last time. I can't understand him, but I think I can learn from his pain. He's a hero whose incarnations express and judge himself. Right now I can't understand the will behind those words, but I'll accept them in your place. My body. I chant the verse, loud and proud. Emiya's own words hurt him. He accepted that and chose to kill me. That's all he wanted at the end of this long journey. Then, just as you deny me, I'll strike you down if it's the last thing I do. I am the bone of my sword. I whisper it without thinking. I look up. On the verge of death, I stand up to him. I swallow a glob of blood that was blocking my throat. The once fading Yang sword concho is cloaked in a concrete image once more. You still. That's right. You say this is a dream? I've always known that. But I've kept believing in it because I think it's right. I follow Kiritsugu's footsteps because it's a dream that won't come true and an impossible ideal. Even if it never comes true, if I keep running, I'll get close to it one day. Her sheath that still protects you even when your contract is cut. I ready my sword. I don't care about that. Right now I won't lose to you. I can't lose to anyone else. I can lose to anyone else, but I'll never lose to myself. I need to keep being Shiro Emiya until the very end. I like the beat. I like this music. It's an unbelievable fight between the swords. He charges in despite being fully wounded. His fingers are broken, his limbs shredded. He hasn't even realized that he's not breathing anymore. The speed is insignificant and the blows he delivers are mediocre. He may have absorbed Archer's knowledge and advanced to a point where he can fight him, but he's back to being a boy again. He executes a haphazard mediocre attack, and yet that first blow is heavier than any of the other attacks before. Apathy turns to astonishment. His sword seems to shout. The boy swings a longsword faster than his opponent ever imagined. Where's this power coming from? The vigor of their clash reaches an unprecedented pitch. Damn you. The man can't even pivot to defense. Each attack is lethal enough to take his head. He judges that the situation must be taken seriously and moves his swords accordingly. Up, down, left, right. The 4 slashes unleashed in an instant are enough to cut the boy to ribbons. But he blocks them. No, the boy launches a bladed tempest that overcomes the 4-fold technique. He wields his longsword with a swift skill. You little. The man senses that he must attack or be cut down. The long sword assails its dying enemy. The boy swings his sword foolhardily. The two sides struggle. Sparks fill the air, declaring that any who enter the ring will be torn apart. But this should be the dying spark of a walking corpse. With each attack, the boy's breathing becomes more labored and he looks closer to collapse. But he takes another step and attacks again. I thought he wasn't breathing! Inconsistent writing. Having seen this, the man is sure of something. His enemy doesn't have any strength left. The boy in front of him is a walking corpse. And yet, why does the boy continue to wield the sword as if he has infinite strength? He isn't conscious of it. He doesn't know what his opponent is doing, nor can he tell if his attacks are working. He cries out, his muscles begging for oxygen, the demand he stop due to the lack of blood. And he pushes through it all with brute force. Mistake. Only one thought occupies his mind. His feelings are fake. Just like this guy says, he probably can't become a hero of justice. As long as Shiro Emiya looks up to that goal, he'll reach the same destination as the man before him. Not a mistake. But he felt that was beautiful. He knows that it was hypocritical to value others over himself. And still, he longed for such a life, wondering how nice it would be to live that way. It's the only motivation driving his body forward on the verge of death. He can't hear what his enemy is saying. It speaks of how fierce their clash is, and how meek his foe's voice is. Looking close to the boy's hands gripping the sword have melded with the hilt. He must have done it to secure the sword, but by doing so, he'll directly feel the impact from the sword. He's bloody and he takes a single step back, he'll pitch over. The boy's accepted that each swing of his sword will be hellish suffering. It irritates the man, but he takes it. It seems to offend his stubbornly persistent enemy. But he's just as irritated with himself for not backing down when he knows that even one step back would end this. But how could he retreat now? There's no room for parley now, and he's in a pitched duel with his enemy. It'd be shameful to turn his back on this childishly forged sword, and it would be utterly humiliating to not meet the attacks head-on. All it would take for his enemy to destroy himself is for the man to retreat one step, but he senses that he'll have conceded something decisive if he backs down now. Soon this worry will fade. His enemy is at his limits. 3 more attacks. If he repeats just 3 attacks, then his enemy will destroy himself. He clicks his tongue at his own foolishness. Just earlier, he thought the boy had 2 attacks left, then he delivered more than 10. The boy isn't going to fall. The boy's voice is inaudible. The boy who's on the brink of death frantically goes against the obstacle before him. And then he sees him. He looks upon him with his own eyes for the first time. I keep swinging my sword until I reach my foe with my arms ready to fall off. The only thing that can be heard is a strained yell. Mistake. That shout is the price I pay for each exchange of the blows. There are the people who weren't saved and myself who wasn't saved. The memories came unbidden and I swore that I'd never let this happen again. Not a mistake. How many years have passed? There were things that were lost. Things I lost. There will always be things that I forget and fail to pick up. Hey Jakester, welcome to the stream. Happy things. The firefighting fairy is getting +3? Okay. To become a hero of justice, to always do what's right. Even if it isn't my own wish, even if it's just to enlighten my own sins, I'll keep that oath. I'll make the dream come true. When I was young, someone saved me, entrusted me with his dream, and passed away alone. I believe in the wish behind his words. Even if the whole world shuns me and the oath turns out to be a curse, I won't give up. +2 to Melu Summer. Rightio. The better Mega Dragonite is up as well. Those two are very neck and neck. Very good possibility of them getting leveled up soon. Oh, +1 for... Another +1 to Melu Summer. Alright, so that puts Melu Summer at 5. So Melu Summer is the 2nd position now. Nice. And then, The man realizes that there is no end to this repeating conflict. But how be things, Jixter, how be things? The enemy will not stop. The enemy will not stop on his own. His enemy makes each attack with desperate abandon, but he isn't even aware of who he's fighting. The boy is trying to cut down himself. He's the one who's doing the obstructing. The man's enemy is swinging his sword with for everything he's believed in and everything he'll continue to believe in. Realizing that, the man gnashes his teeth. He sees the boy keep fighting, and even if he knows he can't win, even if he knows there's no point, that's the exact mistake of the man once made. So why? Why does he want to see how far this boy will go? That's enough. Die! He raises his long sword. The enemy's attacks can no longer be trifled with. He repeats the attack and counters with a strike meant to crush the enemy's skull with certainty. The high-pitched sound of metal. The boy repels what should have been a decisive blow. He couldn't even stop one attack until now, but he easily defended against the strike delivered with the man's full might. Excuse you, like less than 10% of your full might, Archer? He holds his breath. The enemy flicks his sword and resheaths it in a single large stance. But his eyes, they're looking straight at him. The impact breaks one of my limbs. My sense of pain isn't numbed at all. Pain is enough to knock me out, but I push through it with sheer rage. I'm dehydrated. I can't afford to lose any more liquid. The enemy's left arm is wide open. I've lost one side of my body, so this will have to be my last blow. But that thought doesn't enter my head. All I can think is... He slashes at the longsword in an effort to protect his left chest. He can make it. It would be easy to close the distance. This is my last chance. It wasn't a mistake. That's the only thought on my mind. Even if Shiro Emi is a fake, this is real. He wants everyone to be happy. It's an ideal that everyone's felt, I'm sure. So I won't take it back. Because this dream will always be. His gaze is straight. Mistakes and lies. He shakes off everything that pierces him. Sorry, I just had to see how the auto speed would run, but it's a little too fast going at that speed, that pace. I missed a line there. And he continues to run without stopping. Yeah. It was never a mistake. The words drive straight into his chest. The attack comes fueled with a hell-bent determination. There's enough time to block it, but the gears never turn in his head and the battle draws to an abrupt close. He did it! Dot, dot, dot! Stab. He hears the sound of the blade piercing his chest. The surprised one is, of course, the Red Knight. The boy bet everything on a desperate attack, so he would expect it to defeat his opponent. He couldn't afford to make any other choice, anyway. So it is the knight who is surprised. Surely he wonders why he didn't defend against an attack that would have been easy to stop. I'm about to collapse, so I lean on my good leg. I drove Concho into Archer's chest. Why, Archer? Has she been watching the whole time? Saber asks a question from the entrance to the hall. Archer doesn't answer. Maybe he feels he doesn't need to, or maybe he doesn't have an answer for her. My fingers feel numb. My broken fingers tell me that they can't hold a sword anymore. The Red Knight doesn't move. I might have stabbed him through the chest, but he's a servant, so he could easily counterattack. Sorry, I need to... But his arms remain at his sides and show no signs of movement. I know what that means, of course. I win, Archer. I need to do a run on FGO real quick, so I gotta get it booted up. I fix my gaze on him and declare victory. The Red Knight closes his eyes once more, and admits. Yes, and I lose. And I have to type something up real quick. He stares into the distance. His murmur sounds like it was meant to convince himself. Shiro versus Archer fought Heroic Spirit Emiya and won. Woo! Achievement get! I pull out the sword. The moment my projected sword touches the air, it disperses into dust as if it never existed. I finally look around, my tension drained. What a wreck. My lacerations look like they're on the mend, but in some places they're turning into a reddish-black color. Ugh. Archer said something about it being saber sheath. I wonder how it decides what to heal first. It heals the cuts right away, but broken bones seem to be a lower priority. Oh. I hear hurried footsteps coming from the west side of the hall, and the direction Lancer disappeared off to. Someone's coming. She appears on the second-story terrace, jumps down the hall floor without hesitating, and... Ow! Hugs herself from the pain of the fall. Oh, Reen. Sure, are you okay? Wait, Archer, why are you all beat up? Reen, you knew what was gonna happen. Tosaka raises her voice to match the distress which she feels. Lancer rescued her, just as promised. Plus, I'm honestly amazed to see Tosaka alive and well. She can't decide if she wants to check if I'm okay or be upset at Archer for getting injured. You are truly naive. If only you'd been a slightly more ruthless person, I wouldn't have gone back to being my old self. The Red Knight's words are sarcastic, but I can only hear the warmth behind them. After giving Tosaka a look, he turns on his heel as if to leave the stage. Anyway, the matter's settled. Now that I've accepted you, the hero Emiya cannot stay here any longer. The loser should depart quickly. He isn't even going to say goodbye to Tosaka. Bleh. He's heavily wounded and he doesn't have a master. Is he going to disappear here and return to where the other heroic spirits come? No. Uh-oh. It happened in an instant. A lethal attack just as I was beginning to relax around Tosaka. Multiple swords rain down. The torn of blades comes down to skewer me as I stand around spacing out. I hit the ground. Someone pushes me and I fall backward onto some rubble. I was shoved about a meter away. From where I am, I can only watch. Hey, we see the same scene again! My broken limbs cannot support my body and I'm too weak to even stand up. Yeah, it's the same exact weapons! Instead, all I can do is watch from another version of me get skewered before my very eyes. Who's there? Saber's challenge breaks the silence. Her voice is directed at the second floor, at the top of the broken stairs. I rather enjoyed that. It was a truly pathetic fight between two fakers. Archer? It's been 10 long years, Saber. I meant to come see you sooner, but plans changed. Unforeseen accidents kept popping up, you see, and they threw off my calculations. It's Gilgamesh, the servant who defeated Berserker and killed Ilya. He ignores Saber's glare and looks down at me and Archer. Do you understand the weight of the genuine article now? No matter how similar in appearance and strength it may be, a forgery is a forgery. It can never reach the brilliance of the original. He raises a hand, as if about to command an army. The mere sight of a fake's counterfeits offend my sight. You scum, you lack even a single genuine work in your hoard. Fakers who can only copy the work of others should be disposed of like the trash you are. He unleashes countless noble phantasms into the hall. An unavoidable torrent falls on us. I count just under 30 noble phantasms. Even if I was still in one piece, there's nothing I could do to defend myself against the assault. Seba has officially bypassed her sister. Dust fills the air. The hall collapses even further, rocked by explosions. In the middle of it all, I see him. A fluttering red cloak. He runs toward me looking like a pincushion and gives me another shove. I watch his red figure fade into the distance. His eyes convey a firm message. You defeat him. He tells me that since he lost to me and I'm going to become a hero of justice, this is the villain I have to defeat. A cloud of dust blocks my vision. The red cloak sinks into the rubble. I'm sure I saw him before he left. His confident eyes declare, this servant is no match for us. It won't be Saber or Tosaka who defeats him. My other self tells me that Shiro Emiya is the Golden Servant's natural enemy. My vision clears up. A layer of dust settles over the hall, now covered in a new layer of rubble. Nothing else happens. The Red Knight disappeared after he was buried under the rubble. What a surprise, Archer! You saw enough in you to protect someone with those wounds. His tone is filled with derision and irony. The man's lips curl into a smirk. He looks down at Archer's bloody remains. Silence falls. Gilgamesh is the strongest being in this place now. One wrong move and we'll follow Archer. Saber's lips are tightly sealed. She's waiting for the chance to face the enemy. However, who gave you permission to touch my Archer? Tosaka loses her temper after losing Archer. Light flies through the air. She charges the jewel with as much energy as she can and fires pure destructive energy without any modifications. Gilgamesh doesn't even try to dodge it. The attack doesn't leave a scratch on him. I was gonna finish off the stubborn survivor first, but you've changed my priorities, woman. The swords floating behind him sentence Tosaka to death. They hurl towards her at high speed, but Saber arrives even faster to deflect them, protecting her master. Get back, Green. That man is dangerous. He'll kill you if you attack him. Oh, so that girl's your master now. Very well, I'll pardon your impudence. It would hurt my entertainment to lose Saber now. Saber just glares up at our enemy, her invisible sword at the ready. What are you doing here, Archer? You were summoned to the previous Holy Grail War. How are you still in the mortal world? It's very simple. I stayed behind after the last war ended. That's impossible. Servants lose their connection to the world once the Holy Grail disappears. You couldn't have remained for 10 whole years. Not necessarily. To begin with, our anchor to this world isn't the Holy Grail, but our masters. The Grail is no more than the path we take to get here. Once it's gone, we can stay in this world if the mage supplies us with magical energy. Of course, no master can sustain a servant without the support of the Holy Grail. On this point, my vassal did lack magical energy. Regardless, you couldn't have stayed. If your master couldn't support you, then you would have been exhausted along with your summoner. There are ways. Some mages can make up for their lack of magic circuits with knowledge. On that note, my master happened to be a particularly enterprising man. Past tense. So his master is no longer alive? No, Shinji was his master. In fact, the ungovernable Gilgamesh was following Shinji's orders was proof enough of that. Then is your master the same person Ryder was contracted to? Yes, if he can't supply me with energy, then I take it from others, of course. But as it turned out, I didn't even need to bother. I was the only servant to bathe in the Holy Grail. 10 years ago, I was incarnated in a flesh and blood body that allowed me to remain in this era. Saber stares at him in shock. The mention of 10 years ago seems to pain her. That's right, it was all thanks to you, Saber. I know better than anyone what the thing is. After all, I was submerged into its depths and saw what was inside it. So back then, you... Yes, I understood the true nature of the Holy Grail. And that's when I decided I should be the only one to handle it. He speaks to Saber. No, the Golden Servant's decree is directed to all of us. You'll use the Holy Grail. I will. I have no obligation to share it with parasites such as the Masters. I'll use the Holy Grail for my own purpose. The greatest obstacle, my summoner, is now gone. He left behind a mage unfit to even be a vessel. That failure is quite suitable for my wish. With your flesh, of course, I might be able to make a more completed Holy Grail. The man eyes Tosaka. She shrinks away and goes a little pale, realizing how dangerous he is. His red eyes are ominous beyond comparison. Anyone would feel uncomfortable under their gaze. His eyes are so bizarre they even scare the unflappable Tosaka. That can't be. Masters acquire the Holy Grail. We servants work with them because we cannot obtain it ourselves. That's the strange thing about it, you see. Why is it that only masters can acquire the Grail when only servants can touch it? But it's all a farce. 7 masters fighting over the Holy Grail, only the last surviving master performing the ritual to obtain it. That's all a pretext to hide the truth. The Holy Grail has already been summoned. Every time the mages prepare it and then summon 7 servants. Do you understand yet, King of Knights? What they need is not the Holy Grail, but something to fill it with. The master's only a conduit to summon us. The mages who created this ritual couldn't supply the contents of the Holy Grail. Didn't I just say it earlier? They couldn't provide the energy on their own, so they must take it from others. They need magical energy of the highest purity to fill the Grail. So they sought the most powerful souls of the prime species known as heroic spirits. It seems the 7 servants were always meant to be the sacrifices to the Holy Grail. Yeah, they really don't like to have everybody in the, close-up in this room. Saber stares at him in shock. Her eyes try to deny his words. Why would her eyes deny those words? It should be her ears. It can't be true. The Holy Grail I sought can't be something this important, she seems to be telling herself. It's hardly something to be surprised about. The Holy Grail is a strainer for souls. It takes power which cannot be controlled except by the owner of the soul, and converts it into pure magical energy. You can indeed grant a wish using that. As far as the mages are concerned, it's an inexhaustible source of magical energy. Thus, the more sacrifices there are, the better. One could well call it omnipotent once it's been filled with 6 servants. The Holy Grail has absorbed 5 servants. We just need 1 more to turn into an omnipotent pot they desire. Then, the Holy Grail can truly only be handled by masters. If it's meant to be a reserve of magical energy, then only mages can use it. But if one's master is a capable mage, then they could grant any wish for you. Such miracles are not granted to mere humans, you fool. It's the fate of humans to destroy themselves, no matter how much power they wield. But don't worry, Saber. This Holy Grail is the real thing. Once 7 heroic spirits are incorporated into it, I guarantee it will reach the origin of all things. The origin? Hold on, are you saying that the Holy Grail is... I don't know who, but whoever first designed the scheme was unmistakably a genius worthy of the gods. Still has nothing to do with me. I have no interest in such things. I only care about the power as a gate. What? The Holy Grail is all gate? Recall, Saber, that 10 years ago when I was 1 step away from obtaining the Grail, you denied me my prize. You clove it in 2 with your sacred sword and what spilled out set fire to the town. I stood directly beneath the Grail and was submerged in its contents. That's when I learned its true nature. It's truly absurd, but it has its uses. Among my weapons, none are as specialized as killing people at this. It can stay the way it is. I have no need for some all-powerful cauldron. Weapon? Do you see it because it can summon servants, Archer? Of course, they've always been weapons, but this thing has perfected the task. The Holy Grail is a gate to hell. Once open, it will brim with 5.6 billion curses. Didn't Kotomine tell you? The name of the Holy Grail is Angra Mainyu, all the evil in the world. As the name suggests, it's an apocalyptic mud which consumes all humans. Angra Mainyu. If I recall correctly, that's the name of the devil from Zoroastrianism. It's said to be the ruler of evil who was fighting the gods for thousands of years. How the heck does Shiro Emiya know that? It's depicted as the embodiment of all of humanity's malice to be a reflection of humanity's goodwill. So why is the Holy Grail named after some ancient Persian demon? And your objective is to purge all humans, yes. Like Kotomene, I don't intend to cherish humanity. I only treasure beautiful things. This world is enjoyable, but it's unmistakably hideous. It's blasphemy to the king for the teeming masses of mongrels to be allowed to celebrate their lives. I have no desire to rule over such a realm. Are you stupid? What blasphemy? It doesn't matter to a king whether one person dies or not. He must have. If they die, that's all for the best. If they're killed by their own sins, then their lives were not worth living to begin with. What desire are not mongrels. Only those who can survive the depths of hell are worthy of my rule. That's what made the last time a failure. The humans of today are truly feeble if they died from a fire of that magnitude. His lips curve in a smile. For the first time, he looks at me, one of the failures. I don't know what this Angramanyu is, but is it not convenient? It's a sin that falls on all of mankind equally. It is a bottomless darkness created by humans which exist only to kill humans. A perfectly suitable hunting dog to delegate my work to. Gilgamesh raises an arm. Noble phantasms float at the ready behind him, awaiting his command. Now let's pick up from 10 years ago. Last time we were interrupted by some mongrel trash, but we don't have to worry about that now. Of course, an even more vile faker scum darkens the room now. All the swords turn to point at me. I try to stand up, but my broken leg won't move the way I want it to. Crap, I can't even block a single one of those swords. Then why did Archer entrust his will to me? And Gilgamesh is consumed by the flames! Oh no, Gilgamesh was... Oh no, never mind. The swords disappear. The golden servant suddenly puts down his arm. He looks up at the ceiling with displeasure and brushes something off of his shoulder. My clothes got dirty. You escaped with your life today, boy. Huh? I mean, to be fair, Gil's got some drip in this route. The castle's on fire. I don't know who set it alight, but it seems like a pretty intense blaze. The third floor is already surrounded by flames, and they've reached the second floor. No, that's not what I should be surprised about. He really decided not to fight because his clothes got dirty. Running away, Archer. I'm changing the location, Saber. I have the Holy Grail in hand. I prefer to sell things quickly. I'll probably create a Holy Grail and open the hole to hell. His blonde hair flutters. Gilgamesh walks towards a terrace that isn't on fire. If you want to take it back, then hurry. However, this Holy Grail will be rushed, defective product. If you don't come soon, it might spill out. His muffled laughter echoes. Then he leaves the burning castle. Sparks have already started to dance around the Great Hall, and the ceiling is crumbling by the second. I didn't notice any pants being unbuckled, but I hate shirts being tucked in. The formerly ornate castle doesn't resemble itself anymore. Its master gone, it crumbles without trace, as if to follow the pale girl. You know, it's funny, in UE dubs, you don't find out what happened to Ilya's maids. In the anime, you do. But in the actual VN, you find out nothing. There is no indications of what happened to Ilya's maids. Shinji wanders through the forest, his breathing ragged and bestial. He was headed to in a concrete direction, to be clear, but his mental state is utterly lost. With no objective, all he can do is run. Wandering is the only appropriate word to describe his behavior. Shit, just a little more. I was so close, but they all had to get in my way. He pushes tree branches aside with one arm, splashing through the mud. Shinji heads for the forest exit, his bloodstains marking his trail. Of course, the shoulder wound Lancer gave him hasn't healed. He's already lost sensation in his right arm. His wound is red and inflamed, and the arm won't move, like a necrotized limb. He trips and stumbles into a tree. It must be difficult running with only one arm. Yeah, I mean, they need to say that kind of stuff. Yes, you see it in the anime, but still, they need to definitively say it, in my opinion. Honestly, actually, thinking about it, the maids don't really get much of a show in either Fate or UB-Dub. Like, they have a little bit more screen time in the Fate route, but not by much. Hey, congrats, Janice, congrats. And I find it funny that you put Artoria above Summer Morgan as far as the level up order doc goes. His right arm hangs like dead weight. Then he realizes that a part of his body has become dead weight and starts to laugh. His laugh turns into a coughing fit. It hurts. He feels hot and feverish, perhaps due to the wound. His hazy mind imagines his arm rotting away, then he starts to hallucinate all about the people around him also rotting away. There's nobody around him, though. Not just their arms. All those other idiots should know their place and be hurt even worse than he is. He can't stop laughing. The thought makes the pain slightly more bearable. He has a real purpose now. His first goal is to gather arms. I'll take arms from everyone, no exceptions. That's good. Now to decide on the first. The girl who wouldn't do what he said. She's the one he likes the most and can't stand the thought of her looking prettier than him. Just you wait, Tosaka. I'll make you lower than me. What do you mean by that? Like, context there, Viper. Are you talking in the event, or, like, as far as their story goes? Overall. Shinji mumbles a laugh, then looks up. Huh? The servant is standing in front of him. When did he get here? You. He stares at the servant. The golden servant looks down at Shinji the way one might look at livestock. In the Lost Belt. So, in the Lost Belt... Okay, this I do know. So, per the Lost Belt lore, Baobon Sith used to be the kindest fairy in all the land. And she, because of that kindness, and because the Fae are monsters, she kept getting used and abused over and 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 over again. Morgan kept finding Sith before, like, on her death's door. She has a fondness for Sith because back when she was still Ash, Sith was one of the few fairies to look at her with genuinely kind eyes. When Morgan found Sith in her final life, she saw that any more torture and Sith would break. So she decided to take Sith in and toughen her up so that she was no longer the kind fairy that let everybody walk on her. And, as is implied, she was also a woman of the night as well in all of her past lives. So Morgan took her in to save her life and raised her to be a sadistic person because, you know, maybe if she was sadistic, she wouldn't let other people walk all over her and essentially kill her. But then she introduced Beryl to Sith, and Beryl is just not good. You're injured. Looks bad. That must hurt. His tone is utterly disinterested. Shinji's face distorts. He glares at the man in front of him, failing to realize what the servant's words might have implied. That must hurt. Whose fault do you think that is? Lancer did this to me because you're so stupid. You're not even good as a guard dog. How dare you talk to me that way? Oh man, Shinji's about to get wrecked. I mean, deep down, Baobon is a nice person, like, really deep down. Morgan just layered a fuck ton of cynicism and sadism on top of her nice core. Shinji rages at the servant. The golden servant nods, unconcerned. So Lancer gave you that wound. He must have let that master go. Yeah, you got that right. Tosaka got away because of your scum. I want to throw up just thinking about how that cockroach got me. I see. That's too bad. Why are you trying to act all cool for? We need Tosaka to get the Holy Grail, don't we? Damn it, you ruined everything. Don't you get that? What are we gonna do? Settle down. The plan hasn't changed. I can still make a grail. The servant speaks emotionlessly. Shinji doesn't realize the servant's red eyes aren't even looking at him. How could many said we can't do anything unless we have a vessel? We need more than that kid's heart. It won't turn into a Holy Grail unless we connect it to quality magical circuits. Shinji approaches the servant and berates him for his incompetence. The golden servant nods again. And there's no problem. We still have another master that can serve as a Holy Grail right here. Then he casually thrusts his arm out. Squish! Shinji doesn't realize what the noise was until the very end. Huh? His stomach feels strange. When he looks down, he sees the servant's arm, fist embedded in his body. It doesn't hurt, nor is there any blood. The servant's arm stinks deep into his stomach as if performing some outlandish spiritual... Dr. Gilgamesh is here, everybody! It's Dr. Gilgamesh! From all the memes! Dr. Gilgamesh, the one who performed a heart transplant with just his arm. Wow, I can't believe we're getting to witness his work, read about his work in person too. Man, this is a special moment. You desire the Holy Grail? Then I'll give it to you. It's important, so don't let go of it again. He's doing surgery to give Shinji a Holy Grail. Wow. Dr. Gilgamesh is amazing! Blood vessels swell. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. He feels something alien swarming and writhing inside of him. And then he ceases to be Shinji. Wow. Gilgamesh performed a miracle surgery. He made Shinji no longer be Shinji. Also, again, props to Shinji's VA. That was a scream. He convulses. There's just a swollen hunk of meat there now. It has no clear shape. It's made up of only naked muscles and blood vessels, sudden growths of meat, and short-lived decaying meat. It hurts, growing, help, stop. His mind breaks, unable to withstand the discomfort of something writhing inside of him, and the pain of endless growth and decay. The servant watches him for a while, then departs as if nothing remarkable happened. So hideous, a powerful mage wouldn't have morphed like this, but I suppose there's no helping it. Chains extend out. The chain of the heavens appears in midair to bind the infinitely expanding and rotting mass of flesh. Currently it's teetering between growth and decay, but the Holy Grail should quickly learn how to use its host. Once that happens, the growth should greatly exceed the decay. At this rate, the Holy Grail will soon be complete. Bizarre, ugly foods taste better. And most of all, I'm sure you'll spit out the mud that I need, won't you, Shinji? The servant chortles. In his shadow, the mass of flesh repeats, "Help me," in a no longer human voice. Yeah. Every route is Shinji suffering. Every route is a Shinji suffer route, isn't it? I mean, we haven't seen what the third route holds just yet, but I'm sure Shinji will suffer there, too. Okay. So, if memory serves, we should be seeing how they censor this in UB dubs soon here. Shiro, how's your injury? Oh, this? Right, it should be okay. I feel fine right now, and I can still use my circuits. Is that so? Then I suppose it should be fine. She ends the conversation, but it seems like something else is still on her mind. It's been an hour since we've returned. We both have something on our minds, but nothing is said. We don't have time to be glad that Tosaka is safer now, nor do we have time to celebrate our reunion. We're still in a dire situation. The last servant, Gilgamesh. As long as he holds the Holy Grail, we have no choice but to fight him. Exactly. And I'm honest, like, it's just weird because the way they did it in the Fate route literally had Shiro tearing his magic circuits out to give them to Saber as the quote-unquote mana transfer. And there was also something about a big dragon, which, why? I don't know, but whatever. I have no idea how they're going to do this with Reen. We don't have a plan to break out of this predicament. The more we think about it, the more we are hit with a feeling of despair. Of course, we wouldn't have anything to say to each other. However, that's not the only reason we're silent. It's probably because this is the last. This will be the last time we're heading into battle. It doesn't matter what the result is. Win or lose, what awaits us will be the same. The Holy Grail War will end here. After that, the three of us won't be able to talk like this again. She learned what kindness was for the first time. She learned what thank you was for the first time. Ah, you're referring back to Baobon. Yes, because, again, no fairy treated her with kindness except for Morgan. Morgan was the only one to ever treat Baobon with any measure of kindness. Even though Baobon was the nicest fairy in all of Fairy Britain, and nice even by human standards, all the other fairies treated her like garbage, except for Morgan. And Morgan thanked her because Baobon essentially showed her that there are some fae worth saving. Baobon was kind to Morgan when Morgan was still Ash. Thinking back, we've only spent 10 short days together. We were thrust into one happening after another during these 10 days, so much we don't even have time to think about what happened yesterday. But it's not all bad memories these 10 days. Now thinking back, there are irreplaceable memories I've made these 10 days. And that's the reason we're not saying anything. We don't want to admit that our time together is ending. And we're swallowing the words we want to say. Tosaka, Saber, and myself have all the answers in our heads. The reason we won't say it out loud is because we don't want to end what we had in the manner we have now. Fine then, I'll start. I'm going to avenge Archer. I know he was a terrible person who betrayed me, but he's also Shiro. She says it with so much determination in her voice. We will face Gilgamesh. She said it clearly that we'll end this fight. What about you, Shiro? I'll have Saber join me no matter what, but since you're not a master anymore, I won't force you. And it seems that Goldie sees you as a thorn in his side, so if you were to join us in a fight, he would probably come after you first. Maybe she's being considerate, she's even given me a reason to back out, but I have my answer already. I can't leave Gilgamesh alone. Also, I have a hunch the Holy Grail he's trying to use is not something that should exist. But there's another reason why I can't back out. You will defeat him. He left behind those words and chose to keep me alive instead of himself. The same man whose existence is to deny Shiro Emiya. Now that I've made him admit defeat, there's only one path left for me to take. I'm gonna defeat him. I've already decided that I'll fight. If I don't keep my words until the end, I don't know what Archer would say about me next time. I see. If you've already made up your mind, then I won't stop you. Thanks. Besides, I can't leave the Holy Grail alone. If the Holy Grail does exactly what Gilgamesh described, then it's better if we destroy it completely, so the same event doesn't happen again. Saber's been fighting for the sole purpose of gaining the Holy Grail. That hesitation and regret are not something that can be easily erased. Even then. I understand. If the Holy Grail is exactly how Gilgamesh described, then that is something that should not exist in this world. She agrees to our plan by sacrificing her own wish. Alright. And we still don't know what her wish is in Ubidub. I stand up from the floor and start walking toward the kitchen. I reach for my equipment, put on my apron, roll up my sleeves, getting ready for a different kind of battle. What's happening? Did you come up with a good idea? No, I was just thinking about cooking. You're both hungry, right? Ignoring the dumbfounded two, I start making preparations for dinner. We came to a conclusion, now we just need to go on with our day as usual. Let's eat dinner together, then we can go beat 'em up afterwards. I take out the bowl and frying pan. I'll use up everything I have in the fridge. There's no need to hold back. We're going to have a feast. Yes, you're right. Let's enjoy dinner as usual. That makes more sense for us. You're right. Let me help you too. Oh, Saber, can you go prep the bath? The heavy atmosphere we had just moments ago is gone. The living room feels brighter and livelier. A night with the three of us together that will never come again. But in order to make it feel like any other day, we do our best to make sure we can enjoy our dinner in the most lively way possible. So you're all gonna get drunk. And after we finish and clean up our Western and Japanese mixed-style dinner, we resume our strategizing session. Reen, are you saying the Holy Grail is at Ryoto Temple? Yes, they've been eyeing the temple as the place to manifest the Grail, until the Overseer placed a familiar there to countercast her, but that thing was destroyed recently. Seeing as Goldie's holed up in that temple, I'm certain the Grail is there. Ryoto Temple, huh? That's a problem. You can only enter the temple from its front gate. Of course, we can expect Gilgamesh to be waiting for us there. Level 90 Grail Diarmund. Fair enough. You're right, but think on the flip side. We now know the exact location. Sure, Gilgamesh is trouble, but we should prioritize stopping the Grail. We'll have Saber slow him now, and use that opportunity to destroy the Grail. That would be ideal. Morgan does hold genuine maternal love for Sith. Like, in the end, like, at the end of her reign in LB6, she could have made it to her throne, reclaimed her power, and not died. But when the rebels dragged in essentially a crucified, heavily emaciated soul being destroyed Baoban Sith, Morgan froze in terror. Morgan genuinely cares about Baoban. She just has a terrible, terrible sense of the fact that Beryl was a piece of shit. She had no good read on Beryl. Like, if she never introduced Beryl to Baobon, then we would have not succeeded in LB6. Because Beryl was essentially her downfall. She was too trusting. But yes, Morgan is not a deadbeat. Morgan cares for Sith. Wait, don't we need Saber to destroy the Holy Grail? We won't be able to even touch it. That's right. We won't be able to destroy the Grail once it's summoned, but we can destroy the Grail's vessel. To be precise, we're going to stop the Grail before it's activated. What do you mean by stop the Grail? I don't really want to think about it, but if we sum up all the information we have right now, the Holy Grail is probably Ilya's heart. Or rather, the Holy Grail is Ilya's heart and her body, her magic circuits. Goldie doesn't want Ilya to become the Holy Grail. That's why he went and pulled the organ out that represents its core. If that's the case, in order for the Holy Grail to properly function, he's going to need another mage's body to use as his vessel, and there's only 2 masters left, including me. If I'm here, then there's only one more person left for him to choose as the Grail's foundation. You're talking about Shinji, but if I remember correctly... You want to say he doesn't have any magic circuits, right? I don't think that matters too much. He wanted to create an incomplete Grail to begin with, so it makes sense for him to plant its core in an incomplete master. Indeed, we have a Saba face that cares. Although, to be fair, MHX does see Saber Lily as an apprentice, sort of. And Achan does care for MHX as well. So there are a couple Saber faces that care. Even if their bloodline is fallen, anyone with the blood of Mato flowing through them still has traces of magic circuits left in their DNA. If a magical nuclear reactor like Ilya's heart is shoved into their body, even a once shut-off circuit can be forced open. In that case, what we need to do first is separate Shinji from the Grail. I don't understand what it means to become the foundation for the Grail, but we must stop him if we can make it. However, I don't believe Gilgamesh will let that happen. But in the end, defeating Gilgamesh does not automatically equate to stopping the Holy Grail. That's right, it's obvious he's protecting the Grail, so we can't go anywhere unless we do something about him first. Yes, Lalter has very, very few lines, but in the Journey to the West event, she was the Ox King and was a father figure to Mordred, while Nightingale was a maternal figure, which is why there is the occasional Nightingale-Lalter shipping art. Right, however, I'm pretty sure he's going to anticipate us at the gate. If Saber, our most powerful trump card, can only enter via the gate, it's only logical for him to think that it's our only route of entry. That's why... I see. I'll attack the gate by myself. Rin and Shiro will use the opportunity to enter the temple from the back. Ryoto Temple's bounded field means little if there's 2 masters. Precisely. I know we have no choice, but to rely on you, Saber, all you need to do is buy us some time by slowing him down, and we'll rush to your side once we stop the Grail. Wait, it's too reckless. Just Saber by herself is no match for that bastard. I don't think she'll be able to slow him down. Actually, I'm sure of it. What the hell, Shiro? You're giving him a lot of credit. I agree. He's indeed a powerful opponent, but if I focus my defense, it's not easy for him to defeat me. Shiro, I want you to tell me your reason behind that statement. Oh, that's not what I'm trying to say. From what I saw, Saber is definitely more powerful than him. I know that for sure. I'm even willing to bet on it. Makes no sense. That's not what you said earlier. What I'm saying is that Saber's no match for him as a heroic spirit. How do I put this? First, if he has the same type of noble phantasm as Saber, Saber definitely won't lose. We're not even talking about the difference in sword-wielding skills. But what makes Gilgamesh powerful isn't his strength as a singular entity. No matter how strong a soldier, they're no match against the destructive might of the war itself. Yes. People ship that. Yes. That's the kind of servant he is. If you don't stand against him with equal scale of force, he'll just swallow you whole. Sui is the absolute worst matchup for me. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I meant. That's why, Tosaka, you can't just send Saber in without any sort of countermeasure. Unless we find some kind of weakness, there's no way she can win. I know that you don't have to remind me. That's why I'm here trying to think of something, isn't it? Reen, do you have a good plan? Listen, I can't just think of something on the spot like that. Like what Shiro said, his noble phantasm represents war itself. In war, victory and defeat are decided by how much military strength each side is able to gather. It's not about a mastery of a weaponry, but rather how well you can match your opponent's military might. What is it, Tosaka? Why'd you go quiet all of a sudden? I see now. That's why he sees you as a thorn in his side. Of course, if a heroic spirit doesn't possess a noble phantasm, it means they don't have a weapon that originated from somewhere. And wait, I get it. I mean, most shippers do need help, Viper. Reen, what's wrong? Why are you behind me right now? Nothing. I just need to think here for a bit. The two of you just go ahead and talk about whatever. Saber and I look at each other. Well, if Reen has an idea, then it's better we leave her alone. So I should avoid direct confrontation with Archer by myself, is that what you're saying? But I have Reen as backup. As long as I have her magical energy, I should be able to use my sealed noble phantasm without any issues. In that case, I have the possibility of defeating him before he gets the chance to use his noble phantasm. Saber's noble phantasm? Isn't that invisible air? No, it's not. Invisible air is merely a scabbard. As long as Reen wishes so, I can unleash my true sacred sword. I used the same sword to destroy the Holy Grail in the last war. I see. So she ultimately has to decide whether to use it or not. Correct. If I were to use the sacred sword, I would cast Bird not only on myself, but upon Reen as well, as well as it uses a majority of her magical energy. You heard her, Reen. How much more magical energy can you spare? How much magical energy? How come you know exactly what I'm thinking? Huh? Nothing. I told you to leave me alone. I know about Saber's noble phantasm. To be frank, Saber and I can only use her noble phantasm twice. We'll use it once to destroy the Grail, so if you must use it against Gilgamesh, you can only use it once. Well, Saber, that's what Tosaka said. What do you think? I'm not sure. If Archer truly possesses any and all noble phantasms there are, then he must have something that can contend with my sword. Then it'll come down to whose noble phantasm is truly superior. So in the end, it's still going to end up as a competition of noble phantasms. If it ends up like that, Gilgamesh will have the upper hand. I won't let Saber walk into a reckless fight like that, but... damn it, I can't put my thoughts together. By the way, what exactly is Reen doing? She's been acting weird. I say that because she's been looking in my direction, then quickly looking away. Hey, Reen. If something's on your mind, then say it. I'm sure you have an idea or two. No, I don't. Well, it's not like I can tell you that right here, you idiot. I don't understand what made her say something like that, then quickly look away as if something weird is on my face. It's nothing. She's just weird. We'll leave her alone and keep thinking of something. And so we're continuing our strategy meeting with just the two of us. Without Reen, the brain of operation, we can't really think of an effective strategy to overcome our predicament. If we can't come up with anything, then I suppose our earlier idea will have to suffice. We'll move out right before dawn, so go back to your room and make sure you get enough rest. Reen has unilaterally decided the direction for us. Need a quick drink. '10th anniversary, over 100 servant art. Good freaking gracious, that's a lot. Have any of my declared waifus had artwork? Time is passing by. The hands on the clock are about to signal a new day. Reen told me to at least take a nap, but I'm not really in any condition to fall asleep. In a few hours, we'll have to face that servant. If we move right before dawn, that means everything will be over by the time the sun rises. There's no way I can stay still in a time like this. I should... Oh. Saving. Finally, I get a decision point. I was wondering if I was even going to get one on this day. Okay. So, I want to check. This is a relationship decision, so I'm going to backtrack, and I'm going to see who I have who has the higher of the relationships here. Let's see. So, 1 and 1. 2 Saber. 2 Reen. Let's see. Keep going. 2 Saber, 3 Rin. 3 each. Nothing from that one, so I flubbed a relationship proct. 3 Rin, 4 Saber. 4 Rin. No, that's a decision point. Right, so that doesn't matter. So still 3 and 4. Missed that one. It's surprising. It's really surprising that I don't have more Rin. So this is technically the Rin route, but I've got higher relationship with Saber somehow. Yes. I'm curious. You know, the thing is, though, here is the thing. As foreshadowed in the most recent Taiga Dojo, there is one more bad end in the Unlimited Blade Works route. I'm wondering if said bad end comes from not doing the mana transfer thing with Rin. I mean, it makes sense, you know. They bait you in, they tease that there is a bad end, but they don't tell you what the bad end is, when the bad end is if you decide to side with Saber over Rin. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Rin is just the protagonist of Unlimited Blade Works in general. So, on the chance this leads to the bad end, I'm gonna see if we can't skip the mana transfer scene. Let's go talk to Saber. Viper! Mash is precious. She is great. Why do you not like Mash? Let's go talk to Saber. Even if we defeat Gilgamesh, Saber will still be gone once this fight is over. She'll destroy the Holy Grail with her own hands and release herself from her duty as a servant. Excuse me. When that moment comes, I won't be able to see her anymore. This will be our last conversation. Before we head into our last battle, I want to make sure we've left something tangible behind for the two of us. Did something happen to make you come here? Well, nothing really happened. I just wanted to see your face. I'm sorry if I'm interfering with something. Maybe you were trying to concentrate before the big fight? Yeah, I did. I wanted to know, Janice, if you are aware of any of my waifu servants being anniversary arts so far. What? No, nothing of the sort. I also wanted to see your face, so I'm happy that you're here. I thought you would have gone to Rin's room for sure. Huh? Why would we go to her room? It's not like she called me to her room or anything. You're right. It seems my assumption was off. Please forget about what I said. Maybe it was unnecessary, but I just thought that maybe it would be for the best or something like that. Okay, I am getting bad end foreshadowing. Saber's acting even more weird. Not sure why, but I feel like her face will get infinitely redder if I leave her be, so I decide to ask. What's wrong, Saber? You're acting weird right now. Did something... Okay, cool. Good, Janice, good. Making her go in the front line is one thing, but not if you can use the other 5 slots. I mean, there's Mystic Codes to swap out characters, though, so... Did something happen? Nothing weird happened. I was simply trying to rest up and get ready for the fight ahead of us. I could ask you the same thing. Are you not planning to sleep for a bit and be in the best possible condition before we head to Ryoto Temple? When she puts it like that, it's really hard to say directly to her face that I just wanted to spend time with her. If I can't say that, I can't really sleep, so I was thinking if I'm up already, I may as well come here and get a cup of tea with you. I mean, Rin seemed kind of busy anyway. I didn't really think too much of it, and just told her how I felt. Tea, you say? When we're about to go face the King of Heroes in just a few hours? Oh, the MASH solos? I mean, if you have a leveled up MASH, it should be fine. Everybody levels up their MASH as much as possible, right? Yeah, I figure we could probably both 2 tens to properly rest. Then spend some time with me, Saber. I'll treat you to the best tea I have. You're right. I'd be glad to spend some time with you, Shiro. But we must strike the iron while it's hot. I head back to the kitchen and brew a pot of Chinese tea I bought for this occasion, thinking how I'll treat Saber to it. Then, in the end, we enjoyed the tea together and nothing else happened. We didn't strike up a conversation, not even a short exchange of phrases. We simply sat there and stared at the dojo. It was a short few days, but we've exchanged quality time here. I think this while staring at the wooden floor. You should go find Reen. Knowing her, she's probably already come up with something new. Yeah, maybe. I'll go if you say so. I stand up and leave the dojo. Well then, Shiro, see you soon. Yeah, let me go check up on that angry master of yours. Aw, is it gonna force it? I thought I found a bad end route. I leave the dojo as Saber says goodbye to me. In the end, that was our last time spent together. Nothing tangible was left behind between us. There was neither promises nor warmth that would sear into my memory. I couldn't create a single sign to remind me that Saber was indeed here. But I have a feeling that perhaps that's for the best. Whatever's left behind will eventually end up being a fading memory. That's why I'll make sure I keep the memories of the simple times we've spent together close to my heart. Gotcha. Are you awake? I knock on her door. I'm awake. What about you? You don't need sleep? Looks like you were spending some quality time with Saber at the dojo. Well, I didn't know you were watching us. That makes sense, though. You could see the dojo clearly from your room. In that case, you should have come down to the dojo. If you were awake, the three of us could have had some tea together. Whatever. Oh, Reen's being pouty. Yeah, that's a weird value. Maximum broken only 4% per turn? That's weird. I really didn't think that would work out. Anyway, just come in here. I was thinking about going to find you guys to talk about something. I'm curious. So this is distinct. So it is distinct choices here. I thought this would, like, do a weird loop back around to this, based on this current dialogue situation. She seems kind of irritated at something. Got it, thanks. Still wondering what she's thinking, I enter the room and slowly close the door behind me. Aren't you confident? What were you doing with Saber? Whoa. She glares at me as soon as we see each other. Nothing really. Or we were just drinking tea. We have a big battle coming up, so we wouldn't be sparring. I just can't waste my energy after all. Waste your energy? Of course, you really can't afford to waste your energy. Huh? Why'd you get quiet all of a sudden? Are you in a really bad mood right now? I already know what she's going to say, but it doesn't hurt to ask. What do you think? She'd obviously yell at me, but I really am curious, so I end up asking her anyway. However... Never mind. It's not like I'm actually mad at you. Well, now she's making me even more confused. Do you have a fever or something? No, I don't. Will you just sit down already? I'll think of something to deal with Gilgamesh, since you can't think of anything by yourself. She drags me inside the room and locks the door, then she slowly moves back into the room. Huh? Anyway, I start to move towards the center of the room. Facing toward her, I sit down across. And somehow we're both not saying a word. This feels awkward. What about Gilgamesh? I know, you're gonna tell me you don't want to have Saber fight him, right? You're really considerate of her. Hold on, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm simply saying that Gilgamesh is a bad match for Saber, so we should rethink our formation, that's all. If Saber's defeated and no one is left to slow him down, Tosaka would be next. I see. Well, how do you propose we change our formation? I'm not going up against that Goldie. He's taking advantage of his treachery and his anti-magecraft armor on. He's a bad matchup for Saber, but an even worse matchup for me. Same for you. She's right. But I just can't forget those eyes. What Archer's gaze was trying to tell me. That golden servant. Only Shiro Emiya can go up against Gilgamesh. Promise me you won't get mad. But I'm thinking that maybe I should take on Gilgamesh, right? I'm surprised, so you did notice. The only thing that could counter Gilgamesh's noble phantasm is Archer's magecraft. My jaw dropped. What do you mean, what? Don't tell me you were thinking of something crazy like that without realizing the most important part. Well, I wouldn't say that. I didn't have concrete evidence, but I had a feeling that maybe I did have the best chance against him. I see. I'm not sure who gave you the idea, but you weren't wrong about that. What makes Gilgamesh the most powerful servant is the number of his noble phantasms. Following the same line of thought, whoever possesses the same amount could potentially go up against him. Same amount of noble phantasms. Basically, I just need to copy every single one of his weapons as soon as he unleashes them. That's right. I know he mocks you and calls you two fakers, but I'm sure that's just because he sees you two as threats. He has no choice but to admit that heroic spirit Emiya gets to fight him on the same ground. That's true, but... maybe that's the case, but there's a limit. You can tell that as soon as I project one of Archer's swords, there's no way I can project fast enough, and I don't have enough magical energy to do so. It's only if your magecraft stays the same as before. But you do remember what Archer's noble phantasm is, right? That magecraft, as long as you can master that reality marble, you'll be able to have a chance against Gilgamesh. Reen stares at me with high expectations. Unfortunately, I can't answer her expectations. No way. They're forbidden even among the most dangerous spells, right? Besides, I don't know how to do it, and I don't even have a fraction of the magical energy needed when Archer created his world. I know it'd be difficult. However, you should already know how to do it. That's because all your magecraft originates from it. Whether it's strengthening your projection, it's just a byproduct of your reality marble. As long as you have enough magical energy, I'm sure you'll be surprised at just how gears just fall into place by themselves. Even if that's the case, that still doesn't change the impossible. I don't have the energy to put up or sustain the reality marble. I'm sure Archer spent his lifetime strengthening his magic circuits, but I don't have what he has. I understand. Like Gilgamesh said too, right? A true mage would compensate for what's lacking themselves from elsewhere. Listen to me, I'm not skilled enough to try siphing magical energy from other places. And I don't know how to store magical energy into gems like you. Wait, are you asking me to use those gems? Of course, I don't think she'll agree to that, seeing as I don't have any training in magecraft to be able to utilize them. If that worked, I would have given you the gems already. Besides, only I'm capable of transferring those gems into energy, so no, that wouldn't work. But maybe that's our approach. There are a lot of steps we have to take in order to make someone else's magical energy your own, but I think that's the only option we're left with considering our situation. Hey, Reen, mind sharing what's on your mind? I can't help if you don't tell me what's going on. What? There's no way I can tell you about something like that. Huh? It seems she's thinking about something that's hard to tell me. It's nothing. There are a couple of options, but I simply went through the process of elimination and got rid of ones with a low chance of success. Is that so? Does that mean you have a good plan now? Well, to be honest, this is a problem between you and me. There's a way to connect two mages' pools of magical energy together to make this work. So it'd be like creating a path for the magical energy to pass through between us. So this route was not a bad end route. Damn, I thought I had it. Right. Even if you don't have enough magical energy for your reality marble, I do. I'll use my magical energy to fight Gilgamesh, and Saber and I will destroy the Holy Grail during that time. I have Saber with me, so we should be okay on our end, even if I'm short on magical energy. If I can use my reality marble to hold Gilgamesh back without any other servants or masters, the Grail will be left wide open. Reen being a mage and having Saber by her side, our chances are high enough. Well, that brings another issue. The hard part is the step before that. I don't know how to create a path for magical energy to pass through. That much I'm aware, it'll be up to me to think of a way. She's thinking of something, but she doesn't look optimistic about it. About creating a path, there's only a handful of methods that are immediate and can allow magical energy to pass through. The most efficient one would be to transplant our magic circuits into each other. Transplant our magic circuits into each other? There are secondary pseudo-nerves that can be said to define a mage. Using Awe to exert influence and mana, the core mechanism of a mage. It's a living inheritance to make sure one's bloodline can have the foundation necessary to realize their family's great work even when they've reached the pinnacle. You can say it's like one's blood and bone that strengthens as time goes on. Magic circuits like the ones in you and me. Yes, if we transplant our essences as mage into each other, it would guarantee a path. There's no easier way to transfer your magical energy to someone when you have a part of their circuit as your own. Her explanation is short and simple, yet contains a sense of guilt. Of course it would. I can't even begin to imagine the consequences of doing something as crazy as transplanting your magic circuits into someone else. For a person to offer their own magic circuits to be transplanted, it also means they're giving up their integrity as a mage. That makes this easier. Okay, I'll give you my circuits. What, Tosaka? I'm happy that you'd think that, but that's meaningless. Right in my face. She just ends up throwing my resolve right back in my face. Why? Look, the reason why we're even talking about all this is so we can use your reality marble, right? Why do we want to weaken your circuit? Using reality marble is the only possible when we fully exert our magical circuits. I see. I'm the one who will use the reality marble. I'll be the only able I will only be able to create a fantasy big enough to corrode the world itself when I fully exert my circuits. If I were to transplant some of my circuits into Reen to create a path, I wouldn't have enough circuits to perform my magecraft, which would defeat the purpose. Got it? That'd be like spending all this effort to just make us weaker, Shiro. I'm sorry, I didn't think that far ahead. It's okay, no need to apologize. I thought you would come up with something like that. I didn't expect you would say it so quickly, though. So you transplant your magic circuits into me? That also means... It's true that instead of transplanting your circuit into me, the reverse would be better secure our chances. However, I'm the one performing the ritual for the transplant. Taking part of the circuit away while using it can't guarantee the stability of the ritual itself. My mind would be more at ease if this was standardized like the ritual we perform with contracts with our familiars, but creating a path of magical energy between two mages is not something that happens every day. So this could end up bad for both of us. Right, I can't take your magic circuit, and unfortunately me giving you my circuit is also incorrect. Okay, thank goodness. If they were going to go with that route, I was going to have some words. And that's why I'm going to transplant my magic crest. That's even worse. Magic crest. It records the secrets and hidden arts of a mage's family. It's their history. If magic circuits are the blood and bones of a mage, then one could say the crest is their muscle. Magic crest is a magecraft taking form. Through the life work of a mage leading the family in that generation, what was supposed to be formless is given form. It is the proof of a mage's existence. Reen having inherited her family's crest, she gets to enact the magecraft that this generation's family had created. Wait, but that means it's much easier to give a magic crest to someone. Unlike circuits, crests are meant to be given to others. Well, it doesn't define me as much as my magic circuits. The crest is still created by the Tosaka family, so it should suffice for our purpose. Are you sure? I'm sure. Well, the magecraft that was crystallized in the crest would probably be rendered useless, but at least I can turn that into a receiver for magical energy. Are you talking about the success rate? Like, is it possible to transplant the crest into someone from outside my family's bloodline? Yeah, that part worries me too, but... Don't worry. Leave it to me. I'll back you up and we'll get that Holy Grail with you, me, Saber, and the three of us. That's right. We already made up our minds. I'll overcome my biggest failure with everything I've got. She asserts confidently with a bright smile. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Removing her magic crest, that's the same as delaying her family's ultimate wish with her own hands. I've seen it so many times. No, you haven't! The fact that she could overcome the truth with a simple smile and such determination as her strength. And I've seen it so many times. Okay, that's what he's seen so many times. I was gonna say, removing magic crest is not something you've seen so many times, Shiro. What? Why are you smiling like that? Is something weird on my face? What? Right. It's the same as when we went to church. I don't know how to put this, but it's hard to know what to like about you. That's rude. That reminds me, was my face weird at that time? That faded night when I summoned Saber. Reen looked so seriously worried about me, someone who's just her enemy, when I got sick at the church. I'll never forget that expression, how much that expression saved me. I can't say too much about others, but Reen is really a nice person. Probably nicer than anyone I've ever met. Wow, poor Sakura! Oh yeah, it was weird. At the time, I only thought of you as a goody two-shoes at school, so I didn't think you would make a face like that. Whatever, that's right. I'm just a woman who's as cold as the iceberg. Sorry I couldn't make it more obvious than before. Yes, I've been saved by her. She's kind yet realistic. She has the heart of steel who's willing to discard her weakness at a moment's notice. She hides her hesitation and troubles in her heart, and always shows the elegant side of her to everyone, treading forward on her own path with grace. Anne, it's fine what you think about me, but why are you still staring at me? What? No, I suppose I was captivated by you, I know. I know it might be too late, but maybe I fell for you because of your charm. Wow, Shiro being blunt. Then I can't lose. She's willing to transplant her magic crest into me without hesitation and regret, then I must repay her kindness with my own trust. Shiro, that is such messed up logic. Oh man, she's gonna give me the foundation of her family's work? I'm gonna tell her how I really feel. I think that's a good equivalent exchange. Gosh, Shiro, he has to have some level of I mean, we know he has harem protagonist skill, but it has to come with some level of charisma as well. What do you mean you fell for me? Now's not the time for that, but at least can I hear what else you want to say? But at least I can hear what else you want to say. She's readying herself. I'm glad. It seems she's prepared and has noticed my resolve. Yeah, I understand. We're short on time, so we probably shouldn't waste time on small talk, right? Come on, let's start the transplant. Specifically... Shiro, no! Oh, Shiro. Oh, Shiro, 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 Shiro. Huh? Her mouth is wide open. That's weird. Did I just say something funny? What is it now? Did you just think of something we should be worried about? Oh my god, Shiro. You... He is so fucking blunt. I knew it was bad, but I didn't think it was this bad. For example, some kind of jinx that prevents us from performing the ritual at a certain time of day? Nothing. I'm just having a headache right now. I thought I should be used to it by now, but I underestimated how bad you are with timing. It's fine, since this is not the first time you've been like this. What you said, well, it wasn't exactly bad, so I'll let you off the hook for now. Huh? She swings her body around and turns away from me, then starts to take various items out of her bag. Here, take this, just think of it as a painkiller. Okay. I put the lozenge in my mouth. Yes, he's a donkey. She turns off the lights in the room and starts to draw some kind of pattern on the floor. About 5 minutes have passed. After the preparation is complete, she sits down on the bed. Okay, what am I supposed to do now? It doesn't seem like she hears my question. She has this strange troubled look on her face. What's going on? Is it something you can't tell me? I'm prepared for anything, so it won't faze me unless it's something really surprising. That's what I meant by trust. She nods her head. Fine, it's hard for me to say this, but just take off your... Okay. With nervousness in her tone, she issued a command that I'm not used to. Yeah, Shiro is not used to receiving the command, but when it comes to, gosh, I can't remember his name right now. When it comes to his Issei, he is fine with using the command. Let's assess the situation. The lights are off. She's sitting on the bed with her head down, clearly nervous. Why am I only realizing this now? Her soft-looking body, her legs dangling above the floor, making her look very... Okay, how far are they going to go with this? And... she's asking me to take off my clothes. Hey, you there. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm just telling you to take off your clothes. Okay. Exactly. Also going to take off mine, so it's only fair. He took my weird... I took my weird fantasy back after she yelled at me. Wait, are you taking yours off? She literally just said that. Shiro, good. How dense? How dense is he? I don't know how else to interpret what she said other than taking it exactly as what it is. That is how you need to take it. Oh my goodness gracious. Shiro. I have to hope that this level of denseness is only because of the fact that they have changed what this scene is supposed to be. Please, if somebody has read the original unedited version of this, tell me he is not this fucking dense. Told you not to twist my words. I asked you to take them off so we can sense each other's body warmth directly. Nothing else. Unless we must highly synchronize our senses in order to perform the magic crest transplant. In order for that to happen, we need to get rid of as much interference as possible. Okay, that makes sense. Of course. I'm not sure what transplanting a magic crest actually looks like, but from the sound of it, it could be similar to a medical transplant. I guess you wouldn't operate on a patient when they're fully clothed. You could have told me that from the very beginning. I just need to take my top off, right? And you can Shiro... Gosh, this is why Shiro Emi could never be a doctor or a surgeon. You can totally operate on somebody when they are fully clothed. Like, that's what emergency medical workers have to do sometimes. I mean, what else do you do if somebody has a literal wooden spike shoved through their guts? You're not going to take the time to strip them down. You're going to operate right then and there. Gosh, man. Shiro. Come on, man. Of course, I'll throw the heater at you if you dare take off your pants. It's scary thinking what she might actually do. Taking off my shirt. I have had her take care of my injuries a few times, but it still feels a bit embarrassing. I can hear her taking a deep breath in the dark. Okay, now for the next step. Turn around. Right, forgot you have to take yours off too. No answer. Taking her silence as affirmation, I quietly turn around. Not in true emergency situations, they don't. As I turn my back towards her, I take a deep breath to calm myself. Okay, here's a better example. If somebody is pinned beneath a building and they need to, by their leg, and the only way they can get out is for their leg to be amputated, then they do not remove the clothes of the person that is having their leg amputated. They just cut that leg right off. There we go. That's a better example. If I'm going to receive her magic crescent, create a path between us, her magic energy pass through it, and allow me to activate the reality marble in order to defeat that servant. This is simply a process that is long and a dangerous fight. I totally did not pull that from House MD. I should be able to supplement any unnecessary thoughts by just reaffirming that fact to myself. You can turn around now, Shiro. My heart skips a beat. Turn around slowly to face her. Let out a sound. Might seem rude, but I'm troubled by what I'm seeing. Right? Taking them off so reluctantly. She's taken off some clothes, but from the way she removed them, I don't feel any resolve in her. What, do you have a problem with me? Not really a problem, but it's not symmetrical. Basically, I took everything on top. You've only taken off that much. Ratio doesn't match. Gonna be relatively the same between us. Oh, gosh. This is so freaking awkward to read. I'm not gonna lie. This is so freaking awkward to read. He's more of a maniac than I thought. Just because they censored this so badly. Like, it feels so mishmash. I don't know of a better way to put it. Just some of these lines of dialogue just feel out of place. Well, I shouldn't press further on what we're talking about. It's fine. You're the one to perform the ritual. So as long as the ritual can be successful, I won't complain. Also, this feels like it's taking away some of the emotional depth that's supposed to be in the scene. I mean, the ritual will be more effective when we have more clothes on, but it's still a way just to show you everything now. More difficult. She's murmuring to herself. Fortunately, it's taking everything in me to keep calm, so I don't have any energy left to argue. Fine then, turn around again. Again, I can only pray this level of density is because of the, excuse me, changes. She whispers to me, and I turn around immediately. This time, the sound of her clothing rustling lasts longer than before. Once again, I remind myself this is a serious ritual. Even if she's in her most exposed and defenseless form, my becoming frantic will ruin this whole thing. How about now, Shiro? Her voice trembles. Okay, I'm ready to tab out, just on the random off chance. On the very off chance. I slowly look over her. Okay, that's fine. She put her stockings back on. Oh, that's hilarious. There is no consistency. There's no consistency. From one stocking completely off to the other half on to both on. Hilarious. Can faintly see outline the body under the dim lamp, shoulder, neck, collarbone, alt form, both beautiful silhouette. Happy now. I'm relieved that even when she looks so beautiful, she's still the same snappy Tosaka. Good lord, this is so cringe. Try to relax my expression, I feel like I am unknowingly broken into a smile. This is actually making it a bit more difficult for me. Cover my face with my hands and take a deep breath. If I don't at least hide my face, which is probably red as an apple right now, I'll lose my composure. Let's call it even. Good gracious. Come here. I feel like I remember this outfit from the anime at the very least, so that makes consistency vague. It's been years since I've watched the Unlimited Blade Works anime, though. She makes a gesture, beckoning. So the the circle is on the ground. It was established earlier that the magic circle to do the ritual was drawn on the ground. And now they're going on. Oh, so inconsistent. Sit facing each other on the bed. It bounces, reacting to our weight. Without saying a word, we both take in a deep breath. She's going to start the magic crest transplant ritual. Force myself to calm down before this encounter. My consciousness is getting clearer as I focus my mind. I'm going to start now. Hold this against your chest. She reaches out her left hand with the magic crest. As I begin receiving magical energy, the pattern on the upper area of my exposed arm faintly starts to shine. After we sync up, I transplant my magic crest into your circuit. Maybe the circle's on the ground, it's circling around the bed. I mean, it's possible, I guess, but... Ultimately, the magic crest is part of someone else's body. Having it transplanted into you is the same as getting a foreign object put inside you. So it's possible your body may show signs of rejection. You know, the interesting thing about this is that this could be considered a form of foreshadowing for Heaven's Feel. They do that a lot, don't they? They foreshadow the next route with some scenes in the current route. I understand. I'm used to rough stuff like that. This is no different from how I was training to use my magic circuit. Activating a foreign nerve system while learning to control it. Not sure if it'll be the same experience with the magic crest. It seems you are. I heard you have a tendency of exhausting your body. Maybe because this reminded her of my unusual training, but Green lets out a small giggle. However, that's it. If you do anything weird now, I'll kill you. This will be a tool to help. Exactly. She glares at me with narrowed eyes. What do you mean by weird? She ignored me. I shortened the distance between us to the point that our shoulders are practically bumping together. It looks as if I'm embracing her left hand. I can feel her breath on my neck, but I realize she isn't just breathing. Chanting. I have to look that up. Is that German? Translate. Google, stop listening to me. I just said, is that German? Look, I googled translate, and the first thing that shows up is a German to English translation. Give to the wandering one. No, hang on, I must have mistyped something. Wander Enden. Vogel das Trinkwasser der vom langen Weg kommt. Give drinking water to the migratory bird that comes from the Give drinking water to the migratory bird that comes from the long journey. What the frick? This is the direct translation. What? Oh, there's more. Use the bird frame where the key is not applied. Use the... What is this spell? This spell does not make sense. Her breath trembles as she utters the incantation. I can sense the magical energy is filling her body through her left hand. I'll post the translation for this second aria there as well. Her delicate fingers are placed on my chest, though I can feel her pulse with my own heartbeat. Here's more. Alright, let's see. I spin the rainbow in new self. More words. Sunny weather, rain, wind, snow, war, and continuous. I close my eyes to concentrate even further. Why do I feel like just random German words were used here? My heartbeat is synchronizing with the pulse of her magical energy. She's adjusting her pulse to match mine, while I maintain a steady rhythm. I focus my mind and keep it in a serene state, like I do during my training, the only thing I can do since I've ever experienced synchronization, and don't have a feel for it. There's more! Oh boy. Accept without disagreeing, without falling. So this line feels like it makes a little bit more sense. Also, remember, Nasu, the Mushroom Man, is essentially the one that's trying to force Artoria erasure. More words. It accepts without fear, without doubt. So now, okay, now the aria is starting to make more sense. Now it's starting to make more sense. Good freaking gracious. I'm trying to Sieg im Freund der auf ein Reis entfernt get. Victory in the friend who goes on a journey away. Okay. My eyelids are closed as if they've been sewn shut. My sense of smell is weakening, and my sense of taste is fading. My body senses are getting distorted. I can't tell clearly if I'm sitting down or if I'm standing up. In contrast, I can feel the warmth of her skin intimately, my own heartbeat and her pulse. I can't tell which is which anymore. Now that line feels like it comes from the uncensored version. A phantom faint as if someone was having a hold over my heart. A phantom experience as if I'm gripping someone's heart. I move around my fingers trying to identify this feeling I have in my palm. My hearing still works. I hear a sound just now. Wait, my senses are mixed up. I can't tell if that was my body I touched or if it was her voice I heard. The breaths that escape from her mouth are pained. Even while knowing that isn't my breath I'm hearing, I can't help but listen to it. Try to pull yourself together, Shiro. A voice from inside me just yelled at me. I try to ask what's happening, and what's going to happen. We're only at the first phase of synchronization. That's why our senses have swapped and they're all mixed up. The real challenge is coming. If you don't focus, you'll be pulled about by your shared senses. That was as much as I could hear before I suddenly lost myself. Feels like my body has turned into paper and is rapidly being folded up. Another thing you learned is that is the translated version of Artoria, but I like its Artoria propaganda better. It is Artoria. Artoria is better. I already went into the tangent once that Artoria is the proper romanization of the name. Slowly, the paper that is my body began being carefully tucked away, but since time has stopped for the surrounding world, from the outside it probably seems like all this is happening at the speed of light. There's no limit to this repeated process of accumulation and contraction. Even though there's a limit to how many times you can fold up a two-dimensional surface, no matter how much area it has, my body keeps folding inward. My vision turns blue, while it was red before I was folded up. I'm floating. I'm following it, floating at the same time, and the world is passing by me at rapid speed. Good lord. Did Reen, give Shiro some shrooms or something? Or some acid in that lozenge? I try to reach out my hand to familiarize myself with this world where acceleration and termination exist at the same time. I just realized my arms were already folded away, so there's nothing for me to reach out with. Now that's an issue. I've already severed things that I've deemed unnecessary to this place. But I didn't think I would lose my arms and legs. If this keeps on, I'll lose my sense of self. That's why the first thing I need to do is not to confirm the world, but to assume my own form. I squeeze my hands. Although temporary, I have certainly achieved a sense of self. I'm floating in a blue celestial sphere. There's no up or down, no sky, nor earth. It's quiet. I'm not talking about sound, but my current finite state of serenity. Time is flowing on the outside. Blue sea fills the outside. There's nothing wrong with the celestial sphere. That means the celestial sphere is the sky to the deep blue. The egg of the world. Is the celestial sphere being covered in shells, or is the celestial sphere flipped inside out? Does the void give birth to all, or does the void seep out from all? The celestial sphere continues to rotate while inverted. This feels like an acid trip. Why do they replace these scenes with acid trips? Here, time is eternal. The formless gains form over the course of eternity. Nothing shares the same form, and no lives differ from one another. It's a phenomenon that is common to all things. In the middle of an acid trip, is my opinion, Janice. Common forms congregate and thus give form to different laws. Each rare occurrence also represents great result. Beautiful, just like fish traversing through the vast sea. Will does not exist in this complete world. This world does not create persistence or preservation or symbiosis or hostility. This place welcomes visitors. If a foreign object falls in here for them to exploit, they will of course respond to it. The tremendous flow of time is wavering. The collective of magic crests sense the foreign object's intention. But you must be careful. My senses are subverted. I'm seeing illusions. A hidden past not of my own passes me. It was an old memory. Someone else's memory. A memory of parting with someone in the morning. A memory of being placed in a mansion away from Fuyuki once the battle had started. You must be careful. No matter what kind of response to whatever intention, any process conducted by them can only be perceived by humans as divine punishment. In a body that has no need for eyeballs and a brain, I'm getting dizzy. Information is passing by me. I'm seeing old memories, parting with certain someone in the morning. The memory of a person who watched their loved one leave, knowing she would never hold his hand again. No, I think this is just an acid trip, honestly, Janice. Lines from the magic crests are swimming around me, surrounding me while looking for bait. There's nothing I can do. Well, there's nothing a bait can do to begin with. This won't result to anything unless I observe and accept everything like this. Change is ever so slow. Time surrounds me in a spiral passing through my body. It starts to corrode me like it has been devouring the void. Characters 2. Season, winter. Name, farewell. Flowers are being offered. A young girl is standing in front of the grave. A priest standing, towering behind the young girl. There are no words. The girl is determined to bury her own sadness yet again today. Foreign substances are invading. Spiraled blades are closing in on the body. It's like a malicious bulbul. The crest transplant has started. Good lord! How long is this going to take? I observe the gruesome reality. Fortunately, my function to feel pain is still folded away. I see myself being cuffed, binded, severed, dismembered, compressed, and played with, yet it feels like someone else. Oh, how easy is it to cut the flesh. How easy it to shave the bone. The only thing left felt like a soul being eternally tormented. One of my arms turned to that of an insect. What was whoever rewrote these scenes on? Like, I really want to know. Or it seems like it. How disgusting. This is also her suffering. The type of pain I've heard resides within the magic crest. I respect her. She harbors this kind of discomfort, or rather horror, that is several times more repulsive inside her body, that she's able to laugh like that. I think so, too, Janice. She doesn't feel any disgust. When you think like that, what is there left to be afraid of? Suddenly I've come in contact with a particular deep spot. This is mixed amongst memories of farewell and departure. It was an encounter that seared into her heart. Someone was running in the schoolyard. It's a high jump. I was wondering I was about to comment, when are we going to get the high jump scene? Oh my gosh, we're actually getting the high jump scene. I thought that might have been something that was made up, but it's real. It's real. Someone was running towards the bar again and again. She was standing there watching the whole thing. It was meaningless, yet he kept trying until sunset. She thought to herself, what is the meaning of this? Yet she kept watching as if she was betrayed by something, as if she just witnessed something precious. That was it. An after-school sight that's not unusual at any school, but to her it was a sight that stirred up a revolution in her heart. Faintly. It was a sight familiar to me, also to me. A sight from the bygone days. Time was returning to the outside. Might have seen a tear-shaped bump, possibly. This world is returning completely. Strong self-awareness is gained from exchange of my folded body is evaporating, just like foam disappearing on the surface of the sea. I was cut away from the inner world as I became a strange substance in my arm. Magic Crest transplant achievement achieved. My body feels heavy. I open my eyes while I'm still half asleep and try to faintly grasp my surroundings. My consciousness is coming back. I'm lying on the bed facing up with the top half of my body unclothed. My left shoulder is burning and sweating. When I try to wipe the sweat away, it hurts as if it's suffering from a burn. I thought I was seeing more fingers. It's obviously I'm not the same self from earlier. By the way, Reen, was the ritual successful? Just how many hours have passed since then? Don't tell me. Did I end up passing out and sleeping while time just passed by? Thank goodness. Reen, you're still here. That's a relief. I thought for sure I'd overslept and... Huh? Am I imagining this, or is she glaring at me? Was it successful? Of course it was successful. It was a resounding success. It was so successful there's not even a slightest trait of side effects. It was so perfectly done even Kiri would praise me with that devious face of his. Okay. I'm sure that must be quite the achievement. But somehow she isn't proud about it, and she doesn't feel like her usual self. Rather, she's angry. She's really, really angry. Possibly, Viper. Very possibly. I can sense the tension between us. She's clearly sulking about something. I don't know why, but it seems like something's gone wrong. I feel like I need to read her mind immediately and calm her down, but I'm such a bad pupil. I'm not able to think of any reason why she would be angry. Oh, Shiro. That's persistent pain in my left arm. A strange feeling that's like a combination of sharp pain from deep cuts and stinging pain from being burnt. Whoa. Without a doubt, a streak of elaborately designed seal is branded on my left arm. Looks like her magic crest, and it emits a faint blue light. Is this? Yes, this is the magic crest I transplanted. It's already become part of your circuit, and any trace of its original magecraft is nowhere to be seen. I see. This sure is something. I thought it would hurt a bit, but it doesn't really hurt at all. If anything, my arm only feels a little more heavy than before. You'll get used to it soon. Since the sole purpose is to connect our magical energies together, it shouldn't have any effect on the human body. The magic crest, or rather the circuit, will slowly assimilate into your body, and you won't even feel a thing in about half a year. Is that so? Then this means... The transplant's complete. It's basically a one-way path from me to you, so it's not possible for you to send your magical energy to me. All I can do now is send you my magical energy. It's up to you now. We've secured the magical energy necessary to create the reality marble. All that's left is... my problem. All I need to do is fully activate my magic circuit and successfully create the reality marble. You're right. Thank you, Tosaka. I'll make good use of your crest. You better. Also, don't expect me to apologize. You don't just owe me one. You owe me 1 trillion, and it's a lifetime worth of debt. You're right about that. Oh, why are you so angry just now? You saw it, right? Huh? What did I see exactly? Don't tell me that when I thought I blanked out during my ritual, my body acted on its own and did something to her. Wait a minute. Did I do something? You're not so innocent. You saw it, you animal. Animal? Not possible. Did I actually do something to her that was so rough that she would use that word to describe me? Wait, there's no way that happened. I mean, the bed is so tidy, and besides, I wouldn't be alive if anything like that happened. Now I remember. First and foremost, my eyes weren't functioning during the ritual, so I really couldn't see anything other than what looked like the magic circuit, and... Ah, maybe that's what she was talking about. An illusion I saw for a brief moment. In the state where we were sharing our senses due to the synchronization, it's possible that we could see imagery from each other's mind. It wouldn't be that much different from when I saw Saber's dream or heroic spirit Emiya's dreams. It makes sense now. If that's the case, then the only thing I saw that she would care about is that scene taking place at the schoolyard during sunset, something I haven't seen in any other dreams. I got it. Must be that. I mean, you've been having a weird dream, right? At some schoolyard somewhere, you kept looking at an idiot who wouldn't give up on a high jumping until sunset. What was that about? Uh... Perfection. I was hit by a pillow before I could finish my sentence. It was a swift and powerful swing. Critical strike that even Saber and Fujini would be proud of. There's another problem. It's the fact that a normal soft pillow can have the impact and damage as if it was filled with water or something. What are you? Shut up, shut up, shut up. She keeps on hitting me with the pillow. Still looking like she did when she started the ritual, she continues to assault with the pillow. Oh, did you fuse that magical energy to that thing? Would you quit it and tell me what's up with you? Stupid animal, how dare you get someone's secret and just act like nothing happened? Oh, wait a minute, that's a secret to you? When I was surprised by her answer, she saw an opening and hit me in the face. That was a swift and powerful pillow uppercut. Maybe it's also the exhaustion from the transplant, but I'm haphazardly knocked down again. She must still be angry because she grabs me by the back of the neck and starts dragging me across the floor. Fine, just remember this moment. One day I will peek at your embarrassing memories and it'll be too late to beg for forgiveness. Please forgive me. Wait, what are you doing? She won't hear me out. She grabs the back of my neck and throws me out of her room. Emiya, just so you know, girls have a lot to do to get ready, so would you return to your room now? With that evil grin of hers, she slams the door. Thrown out into the hallway looking like this, I blankly look up at the door. Don't be ridiculous, guys have a lot of stuff to do too. Hold my dizzy head and get up. Thought of saying something back to her on the other side of the door, but decided not to. I wasn't able to ask her what that scene I saw meant to her. Well, she's that mad about it, it must have some special meaning to her. Muttering silly stuff like that to myself, I go back to my room. It was probably just an excuse for her to kick me out, but it's true that there is no time. The day has already changed. There's probably less than an hour left before we head to the temple. Yeah, this is... I close my eyes and feel the magic energy from her pouring into me. She isn't consciously supplying me, yet it's filling my body up. If my magical energy capacity is 20 or 30 units, then she has almost 500 units. Sure would take years to stock up, but her maximum capacity might even reach 1,000 if someone supplied her. Yes, it is a long section today. I'm surprised, she really is amazing. That reconfirms it. Rather, I finally realize it now. Well, she's depleted now, and mages usually only keep about 80% of their magical energy, so her magical energy is about 400 units. But that's still a massive amount of magical energy. I use just about 2 every time I use Strengthening Magecraft once. To use Projection, I use about 5, on average. Using that example, the projection I can use only 6 times at most could be used 30 or even 60 times with the help of Reen. Now, it's a cheap vehicle that overheat will no matter how much fuel there is, but it still has tremendously increased my power. I might even have a chance of winning against that king of heroes like this. All that's left is... I'm gonna stop as soon as the day rolls over. There's 1 more hour I should rest my body. Until then, I'll rest my body and gain the mental and physical strength for the final battle at Ryoto Temple. Everything is set. I'll face the last night with a fully prepared body for her sake too, since she gave me her magic crest and opened up to me. But yes, essentially, I think... Okay, thank God. I was gonna say, I hope there is one last day transition, and there is, and that's gonna be where I call the stream. Good freaking gracious, this was a long one. 3.5 hours. And I didn't go off on that many tangents. At all. But that means next week we will hit the climax of Unlimited Blade Walks, where we will do day 16. Indeed, day 16 awaits. And it could very well be another long one, so buckle up for then. For now, though, I've been SoulRack and I hope you've all enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. No, the climax is not on Valentine's Day. The climax is the day after Valentine's Day. Oh, but that's somewhat ironic, isn't it? That right there is what is truly ironically on Valentine's Day. That's the irony. But that's enough irony for me, so I've been SoulRack and I hope you've all enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to check out more by me, be sure to check out my channel here on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same game. There is plenty of content for all to enjoy. Like the video, comment video, subscribe to the channel, follow on Twitch, join the Discord, etc., etc. Bye-bye, everyone.